All right. Let's just get right into this, okay? Yesterday, I'm gonna pause the alerts on. Yesterday, I I posted a video doing a little commentary on Ethan talking to Keffals, and I got some negative feedback, which is just deservedly. A lot of people were upset that I didn't do research on the topic. In my defense, and I got it wrong regardless, there wasn't exactly... Keffals is a content creator who is, like, big enough to be infamous, but not big enough to have, like, some kind of a breakdown video. And a lot of my, like, educating myself on videos, you know, that you've seen before are usually, like, you know, watching, like, a really well put together breakdown on a particular content creator, which we didn't have. Of course, today, on this glorious 9/11... Destiny posted a video that seems to be somewhat of a comprehensive deep dive into it. Now, I'm a little apprehensive about watching Destiny on Keffals. I like Destiny a lot. I respect the guy. But I know they have like a big history. I'm sure he's justified in his feelings, but I want to try to separate the facts of the situation, which I'm sure he's going to show, and his feelings on it, if that makes sense. So we're going to watch it now, and we're going to do our thing. And yeah,
so this is all a lie. She doesn't bring up the fact that she had a rap sheet. She doesn't bring up the fact that they like matched these to a file. Like, I wonder if these people reached out to the police for comment on this. Vosh, finally being good faith with you. Really?
Vosh. Tweets, you know, they
you're calling threats. Like,
all right, that's really, yeah. Okay, my bad.
I'm probably gonna reach out to 1 or 2 law firms tonight. I'll shoot emails. If anybody thinks they could take the case. Keffals shoots him a picture. Your mom is cute. I have your face.
What? Sorry, your mom is cute. Okay.
And name. I know which schools you went to.
Wow.
I know every member of your family.
That is...
The problem is that Keffals actually tweeted out a bit, and then she deleted the tweets about having doxed somebody from Kiwi Farms and found out all their info. But once she realized that she had a failed dox, meaning her dox was incorrect, that guy that she was talking to, she had the wrong dox. So she deleted all of the... she deleted everything.
Meanwhile, he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of rape.
She does...
Wow, I think I actually remember this.
Walk it back like 5 or 10 seconds later, softly. Keffals claimed I stealth people, then softly walked it back later. She would go on to say that she would never apologize for it after horrendously misquoting and butchering positions I have relating to informing your potential sexual partner about your genitals. After Keffals accuses Chud Logic of being a pet...
Did that have to do with the whole thing where Destiny had this like really hot take, I guess, on this girl who's like, I was really uncomfortable when this guy took the condom off after I told him to leave it on? Is that what referred to? And he was like, oh, if you can't set boundaries like that, you need to like not be engaging in hookup culture. He said it a little insensitively, but I generally agree, especially since she said it felt awkward. She didn't feel scared. Those are two very different words, but is that what it's from? I don't really know.
Pedophile with no evidence.
And Chud Logic.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure. Great to talk to you as always. All the best. Chud Logic on all good social media platforms. If you like racism...
Pretty sure that guy is like a pedophile.
CTV,
like, actually,
where did that come from? Like, what makes her say that about him? I'm genuinely curious if anybody knows. Like, what did that come from?
I gotta correct Chud. He's not fucking Chud Logic on Twitter. This fucking asshole. He's a rash.
Her mod, Hunter Lion, doxed Chud on Twitter by posting a picture of his face while also calling him a groomer.
Why?
This is after. I don't know if I should show a picture of his face. I think it's like kind of censored, but he posted a picture of his face and says, "But Twitch Politics' favorite chasing groomer was there," in a response to what Keffals tweeted. Keffals never seems to mention...
Interesting. Why did she say that?
That she has accrued an impressively huge Kiwi Farms thread over 400 pages in a relatively short amount of time. Kiwi Farms is a community known for doxing, brigading, and other forms of targeted harassment.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she always seems to blame my community and ignore that her Kiwi Farms thread got bigger than mine in like 1/20th of the time. I think in a couple months, her thread grew to over 400 pages. How the f do I get blamed for the Kiwi Farms thread on her? The idea that this is all coming from my community, when again, not a shred of evidence.
Oh, doesn't Keffals constantly assert that like Destiny's best friends with the Kiwi Farms guy, but doesn't he hate him or something? Okay.
Has ever been posted proving as much is just ridiculous. Destiny's made 41% jokes towards me, accused me of being a rapist, accused me of being a pedophile, and is now actively mocking me for being a childhood grooming victim. None of these things are true. I do not regret at all my role in getting him deplatformed from Twitch because he deserved worse. What's worse than getting your job? Did I need to be killed, tortured, castrated? I don't know what that means, but...
Okay.
When I engage with a content creator who doesn't like me, and the replies are filled with people making 41% jokes, misgendering me, and mocking me for being trans, every trans person is aware of it. It doesn't even take an ounce of integrity to tell your audience it's wrong. We tell my audience it's wrong all the time. We ban people that make transphobic jokes. All of this was probably coming from Kiwi Farms. Oh, that last tweet had over 30,000 likes, true. I think the existence of Destiny creates a lot more transphobes, really. I mean, imagine encouraging and laughing at people for doxing her family, never done this, making 41% jokes to his audience so they bully her more, never did that, and then blame it on her. I blame her.
I know that Destiny downplayed doxing a little bit. I remember him saying something along the lines of like, doxing isn't that big of a deal, like hot take, which I don't know if I agree with that. But I also don't think I've ever seen him laugh. I mean, like, listen, hopefully Keffels responds to this video with all the proof. Then that would be quite a seismic take. Because, you know,
For the false accusations.
like if Keffels goes through this with like a fine-tooth comb and goes, well, here's the evidence for Chud Logic doing this, and here's the evidence for, would she ever do that, you think? No. I wonder if she would. Someone doxed and tried to swamp me in Ireland. Okay, I don't care about, well, it sucks. I'm not saying I don't care about that, but I mean, like, it would be good to respond to this video. You know, it's with the receipts if she has them.
Truly brain dead logic. The reality of what happened was that I misread a comment in chat, assuming the chatter was making a trans suicide joke, when the chatter was actually just making a neat suicide joke. I went on to say that, although it was tempting to embrace the 41% jokes, I'm trying to stay above board. I don't think I need to explain myself, but just in case, this was literally...
I'm assuming that his, it's hard to, you know, I'm assuming it comes with, like, him getting deplatformed on Twitch because of some trans individuals online, and so he was like, it's like if a fat guy pissed you off, like Papa Gut, you'd want to call him a fat piece of shit, you know? I guess that would be what it is. Obviously, it's not right, but if that's the context, then, like, I get it.
the day of my indefinite suspension from Twitch, a suspension that Keffels and others cheered on and even tried to take credit for.
Yeah.
At this time, it was tempting to attack the people who were attempting to destroy me by any means possible. Despite this, I've held myself to a higher standard, and I resist the temptation. So Nixon here made a joke, a neat joke. Destiny, take comfort in the fact that in 30 years, this person will probably Minecraft.
What is a neat joke? What does neat mean? Somebody can explain that to me. Something... An expression that means something is wonderful, terrific, or cool. Like an actual, like, neats are people who don't go outside. Oh, like terminally online people? What does that stand for? What does neat stand for?
Themselves. I read that much and assumed it was a transphobic joke, but it was a neat joke because their parents went over.
His brain was looking for a transphobic joke because he was so not employed, educated, or trained. Okay, or trained. Okay. Not in education or trained. Yeah. Okay. I guess his brain wanted to be transphobic, guys. Well, you know, when you're getting a lot of hate from a particular community, I do get it. I do understand that. Actually, it's fucked up. And actually, it sends you down like a bad path. I totally get that. And I've kind of dealt with that myself on like TikTok, bro. Like, yeah, I get that. You know, oh shit. But obviously it's not right. You know, you can't let a small percentage of people, you know, end up making you lose your way, you know?
No longer be around to care for them, and they will have to be an adult for once. Can't cover the fact that in 30 years this person will kill himself. Jesus Christ.
Obama.
It's tempting to embrace the 41 jokes, but I'm trying to stay. I don't even know why at this point. I'm trying to stay above board.
Okay. I honestly hope he gets swatted from Keffels.
If you want like an official statement, if you people like, yeah, it's shitty that Keffels got swatted. Like nobody should get swatted. That obviously sucks. But I have no sympathy for her. She like aggressively pokes and prods and fights with like the most aggressive communities on the internet. Like, I don't know. And like, obviously she treats me as less than human, so I don't have any sympathy for her. Okay. But I mean, it sucks obviously when she gets swatted. Atlanta PD didn't knowingly maliciously detonate Keffels, nor did they know knock raid and wake her up with guns. Wait. Responding officers conducted the initial inquiries which culminated in their attendance at Ms. Sorrenti's residence. Officers did not conduct what is sometimes referred to as a dynamic entry into Ms. Sorrenti's residence. Rather, they knocked on the door.
I don't need any food yet right now, babe. Thank you.
Announced themselves as police officers and occupants answered.
I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face. When I was woken up by police officers and saw the assault rifle pointed at me, I thought I was going to die. Any attempt by uninvolved third-party seekers otherwise is inaccurate and irresponsible. Ms. Sorrenti was arrested for uttering threats based on information officers had at the time. Ms. Sorrenti was polite and cooperative. Oh, did she lie about it? Okay, well, she needs $60K for lawyers.
I think my GoFundMe did end up making like $85,000. I've been seeing people doing discourse about that forever, and I'm just like, do they understand how much lawyers cost? A 3-day civil trial in Canada is like $60,000.
I didn't know that. That seems like a lot of money.
Yeah.
It does seem like a lot of
I already
money.
hired a lawyer, and I'm looking into taking legal action, but I was advised not to talk about it until I actually do take legal action. So I haven't made a statement.
Well, I've seen that people say things online about it. You know, that you're lying about the amount you're going to. First of all, I want to make my principles clear. Okay.
Average cost of a 5-day trial is $56,439. 7-day trial is $81,950.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
What is she even going to sue them for? Quote me. Quote me. And I could be wrong, but quote me anyway. I don't think she's going to trial for anything. I don't think there is going to be a trial for anything at all. I think she's going to pocket the money. And then
Oh, is that what it is? Like raise money and then not go to trial? Well, listen, in Keffel's defense, I'm just going to say, okay, she might have originally intended to go to trial, but then after realizing that maybe she talked to lawyers, she realized that she's not going to get anything out of whatever trial she was going to push for. And so she's like, fuck, I decided to drop it. As far as the collecting the money, I mean, yeah, she collected it for the trial. I totally get that. But at the same time, I guess I don't really care because you're giving money to a content creator. Especially, you know, and it's very, so I guess, I mean, I don't really care about that. Like, I'm not going to add that to the, oh my God, fuck Keffels, like, thing, you know what I mean? I feel like that's one of like a slightly petty add-on. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this person's bad, so everything that they do now all of a sudden is like the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this person sucks. They eat this person's a really bad person. Like Hitler sucks. Did you know he eats his crust on the pizza before the actual pizza? You know what I mean? It's like he's already bad enough. I'm not saying Keffel's Hitler. Obviously, I'm educating myself on the topic, but you know what I mean?
and say she'll use it for like trans activism or something in the future. This brings me to allegations that Ms. Sorrenti was addressed during her time in London Police custody using an incorrect name and gender. While I cannot confirm any conversations which might have transpired during Ms. Sorrenti's initial arrest, activity in her holding cell is monitored by audio and video equipment. At no time while she was in her holding cell did members of our police service address Ms. Sorrenti by her dead name and gender. I have personally reviewed the recordings and found our officers are polite, respectful, and professional. The reference to Ms. Sorrenti's former name appears to stem from the existence of prior police reports.
Okay.
During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name.
Wow, she speaks so slowly.
I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police, when talking to my mother, referred to me as her son. This is despite the fact that I have run as both a member of parliament and a member of provincial parliament under my name, Clara Sorrenti. The fact that a fake email led to London Police Services booking me under my dead name reveals the prejudice that many police have towards transgender people. My last name has not been Roberts in over 10 years. The only reason that Roberts is on the property bags is because I was booked under my dead name.
Ah, now I can understand why some of the evidence might have been mislabeled if they already had her on the record. Not that that's okay or good, but I understand now how that goes. Because I'm kind of wondering, if you've legally changed your name, why the f would they write your dead name on anything? That just is going to be confusing with police officers. But if she's got a prior record, they might have like a similar file where everything gets, that makes sense.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, what's being said is that some of the stuff was mislabeled as her old name, possibly for a prior arrest, but they didn't refer to her as her dead name when they met up with her, at least not in any like consistent capacity. And she's potentially overplaying how much they dead named her for sympathy. Is that what we're hearing? Okay, I'm okay. All right.
Police are normally notified when someone legally changes their name. When an individual comes into contact with police for whatever reason, an entry is made in our records management system using the name provided at the time. That report is merged with prior reports, if any, involving the same person with the same date of birth. Where an individual has a change of name or has a nickname or alias, those will be linked with the primary name on file. Police are not normally notified when someone legally changes their name. It appears the bag in which Ms. Sorrenti's personal property is held was labeled with their dead name for tracking purposes. I recognize that this explanation will not please everybody. This situation highlights for us the need to develop a mechanism to ensure accuracy in our record keeping, recognizing that as in Ms. Sorrenti's case, anything other. Okay, this all seems like way more reasonable. So there was no no-knock raid. That's a lie. Assuming this statement is true and the police aren't lying here, which they could be pretty dumb, but they could be. But according to this, there was no no-knock raid. The tagging stuff makes sense, and while she was being held in jail, nobody dead named her or disrespected her. I have never seen anybody
yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like a word-for-word situation. The police could be lying, Keffels could be lying. It's like impossible to like fully know what's happening unless they release the body cam footage. Gotta do it, guys. All right. Okay. Yeah, I know. She said the police woke her up with assault rifles like pointed at her face or something, right? Yeah, I guess that's what makes some of this really difficult to like zero in on, is because it's just so up in the air. It's very he said, she said. She's a content creator versus like the police department that has to act generally in like a more professional capacity. So it could be easier for her to lie about them without them necessarily responding. I know they did. They felt pressured to respond because they felt that she was hyping it up. And the only reason I'm saying they felt is because like we're still exploring the situation. I don't want to jump in and be like, oh my god, see, Keffels is bad, because then that would be just pathetic reactionary shit to you guys like criticizing me, and it would be just like me just trying to do fucking like change my mind just to appease you guys, which I'm not going to do. I won't doubt that this video is going to change my mind. I'm just saying, but I want to be very careful about my language with this.
Poke the nest for Kiwi Farms as hard as she does. God, she's so. I almost respect it. I almost respect it.
They want me dead because I'm a high-profile transgender activist.
So to be clear, people hate her generally because she's a smug piece of shit online harasser and bully. That is her career. Her whole career is harassing and brigading and bullying on the internet. That's what she is and what she does.
I'm sure he's going to show us this. We're only fucking 10 minutes into an hour and a half, but I'm sure that there is part of the people that don't like her because she's trans, at least in like really online toxic forms, you know? Like I'll sometimes go to 4chan to look at porn because that's all 4chan's good for now. Everybody's moved on to another website, but there's still, even in like the porn section, like trans hate threads, and I'm assuming Kiwi Farms people are very similar to that, you know?
There's a big target on my back.
They do also have a lot of trans porn, all right? In the not safe for work session. I'm just saying, dude, all right? Just being brutally honest here.
And for the past year, transgender people have been at the focal point of a culture war.
It's not just the doxing, but Sorrenti takes issue with London Police Service's handling of the incident. Evidence bags she showed Global News indicates police use her dead name, the birth name she had before transitioning, which is considered highly offensive.
I'm only curious because it says Roberts. Is that her first or her last name though? But I'm curious when it says dead naming. We keep seeing that sounds like a last name, right? Like you wouldn't be like, oh, like if your name is Daniel, you wouldn't say Daniels. So did they dead name her first name or her last name? Because I know this is weird, but like I feel like getting the last name wrong, but still getting the first name right potentially, is that really dead naming? Right? I don't know. I'm just bringing it up. I'm just bringing it up.
Police use her dead name, the birth name she had before transitioning.
Because like I actually I changed my name. I took my father's last name. So if somebody accidentally called me that, would that be dead naming? You know what I mean? Or yeah, I feel like the first name is a little more important. Okay.
Which is considered highly offensive. She also claims police asked her if she was a she and to explain dead naming.
The way that I was treated by the police really showed.
I find that a little hard to believe. If they did, though, it would be like some guy being like, hey, I don't really get the trans stuff. Could you explain to me? In probably a nice way, but I just feel like, okay. I mean, it could have happened. It's interesting.
They know nothing about transgender people.
And so this is all a lie. She doesn't bring up the fact that she had a rap sheet. She doesn't bring up the fact that they like matched these to a file. Like, I wonder if these people reached out to the police for comment on this.
Or issues.
Police told Global News that this is an active investigation.
Yeah, they can't really do
but
much.
Despite being a prominent name online and having run for office provincially and federally, Sorrenti thinks police's actions are driven by ignorance.
So I had a hate crime perpetrated against me, and instead of the police helping me, they victimized me for it.
Also,
when I went into the hallway and then saw that assault rifle.
Went into the hallway and saw that assault rifle. Where was the original tweet? Didn't she say originally that they woke her up with an assault rifle pointed at her face?
I was woken up with an assault rifle pointed at me. Damn, he's got like, this editor is fucking champion. Let me tell you something. On August 5th, I was woken up with an assault rifle pointed at me and arrested for a crime I did not commit. I need your help, please, sir. So what she's gonna say, just gonna bring it up, is that like she's like, oh, it was slightly exaggeratory language, but like not, you know, as I mean. I guess that's the problem with that, is that can be open to interpretation of like, oh, they broke in and like I woke up with an actual gun on my face, or it's like slightly, you know, exaggerated. But yeah, that is not accurate to what she had said.
I thought that was the original tweet that I saw. This sounds a bit different now, but okay. Oh,
if they want me to stop, the next time they better manipulate the police into pulling the trigger.
It's she like her life is like a movie. It's so cringe.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That was like that guy we watched yesterday, where like the guy was Xander Hall's girlfriend was potentially like a drug addict, and so he like called the police on her or some shit like that, and then the guy that was defending her, the Dr. Robotnik, he was like, if the police were called, she could have died. It's like, wow, okay, that's fucking crazy.
As we mentioned, the response to this story has been overwhelming on social media.
You shouldn't exaggerate your experience with police. I do. One time I got arrested. And they were really nice to me. They were like, they knocked on the door and they said, hey, are you such and such? I was like, yeah, what's up? It's like, well, we got to arrest you because a couple of days prior, I pushed a guy and he fell off of a stoop and he broke his neck. I'm like, yeah, can I just put my shoes on? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm fat. So they're like, hey, do you want 2 handcuffs? I'm like, that'd be lovely. We sat in the back of the car. We chatted a little bit. It was pretty nice. That's not even an exaggeration. That's actually what happened. But yeah. That's life, am I right, guys? It do be like that sometimes, am I right? Yo, don't fucking mask smell me, pussy ass bitch. You know, straight. It's a real white man experience. And then another time I had a bad experience with the cops because I was racing. I raced an off-duty cop on some parkway or something, and they got really mad at me. He came to my house after and gave me a ticket for like farting or something. So.
Yeah, and on Sorrenti's end, the story is not.
And he thought my friend was a girl because he had long hair. This joke's on you. We're just losers.
Not yet over. She's waiting for London Police Service to finish their investigation and told Global News she plans to sue.
Oh. Sue for what? On August 5th, I was woken up with an assault rifle pointed at me and arrested for a crime I didn't commit. Yeah, true. Jesus.
Okay.
It's phrased vaguely enough that the hallway could still make sense.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face.
No, that's not vague. And she wrote a whole script for this as well. So no, fuck you. I reject your bullshit there. No.
Interesting. This is so interesting because I'm watching this. I'm like, a lot of like the language that Keffals uses and like kind of the way that she talks about stuff and the things that happen to her. I don't know. She seems very good at like controlling a narrative in like a decent way, where if anybody gives her a little charitability, they would be able to be like, yeah, I can understand why you'd say, like, to me, I'm like, yeah, that seems like a little exaggerated, but I wouldn't really shit on her for it. You know what I mean? But I wonder if there's a pattern to that, or if people just hate her. At this point, I'm watching this video. That's why I'm watching
I just think that's crazy. The entire, everything she said in the police reports just
potentially, man. I'm not trying to. I don't want to jump shit. Okay. Just because I'm just
almost certainly a complete and total
too good faith. Well, that's the thing is I'm good faith to anybody I don't know. Like that's what you're supposed to do as a person. All right. Like I can't just be like, fuck this bitch. Everybody hates her. So I'm gonna, I just can't do. I'd rather get criticized for not doing research and then doing it now. And like stick to my fundamental guns of like being good faith to people before they ruin it, than just kind of like engaging in a way where I'm like, oh, everybody's wrong because you know what I mean? Because I want to be. I feel like it's better to to start from there, you know, start higher with like assumed respect, and then potentially they wouldn't do the same to you. Who cares about them? That's why they're not popular content creators. I'm not trying to be like a dickhead. This is like part of my content. Like this is part of who I am, you know. That's what I try to do. So I'd rather get shit on for having like a bad take sometimes, and like trying to stick to my fundamental values, than to just like flip and be like a toxic asshole to everybody. You know, that's what I want to do. I'd rather do that. It makes more sense to me. You know.
Total lie or completely,
and that's how I'd like people to treat me as well. Obviously, you know what I mean. You know, what I mean? Some people won't, but like you know, I don't want to put that bad energy out in the world. Be like, fuck you, I don't even know you. You know, that's bad karma, dude. It doesn't align with the stars. It doesn't align with the stars for me, bro.
Misrepresented, and she got like so much like almost international attention for it.
You didn't know that Keffals blew up in the cop culture. You know, it's so weird though. Like I said in the beginning of the video, like Keffals is one of those people who was like big enough to like. To gain like notoriety, but like still doesn't seem to be super mainstream. Does that make sense? Like it's weird. It's weird.
How spicy would it be if it was her or her own mods who swatted her to be able to do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't speculate that far because it'd be crazy. But like, I wouldn't put it past her.
Do you not think you're taking at least a little bit of a risk? Like, sure, maybe there was some hyperbole or sensationalizing of saying that she was woken up with guns in her face.
Yes,
but who knows? Maybe it was kind of forceful. Like, I feel like we should be a little bit skeptical.
So here's the two things that are hurting really hard right now. These are the two things that I think is one, what she ended up putting out was highly misrepresented on its face. That she even walked it back in the live interview. She wasn't woken up in bed by it, which is what she made it sound like. She walked up to a hallway, number one. And then number two, she lied kind of about the dead naming thing. She made it sound like they were just being transphobic. Dead naming was horrible. She didn't bring up that she was already in the system, had a rap sheet, and that they were going by like what she'd previously been filed under.
True. I still see that's the thing. I kind of agree with that first guy. I mean, Destiny has a history with her being an asshole to him. My understanding, like from what he said, I tend to believe him. He's a credible guy. So it's gonna obviously put a bad taste in his mouth. I mean, like, yeah, it could be a little hyperbole. You know. The story about like the cop, I don't know if I believe the cop actually was like, what's dead naming? I don't know, understand anything. I just feel like the cop didn't care. They probably wouldn't care, but if they did, it probably wasn't in this like, ew, you're trans, like, you know what I mean? It was probably like, oh, so like, when you interact with the police, a lot of the times the police aren't complete pieces of shit. A lot of times there's a lot of dead time. You know, you're just kind of fucking around. You're hanging out. You don't really, you know. So the police might ask you some questions like, "Hey, what about this? Hey, what about that?" It's not as like super concise as you know. I guess we were assuming. So it's possible that they're like, "Oh, so you're like," she could have been like, "Oh, that's not what could have happened." is they might have mentioned her dead name, maybe in some capacity. And then the guy was like, oh, what's a dead name? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, Uncle Joey doesn't know much about trans people, It's also possible that they shit on her, I guess. But I feel like that probably wouldn't happen. And they might have just been more of like an invest, like, oh, I just don't understand what this is. And then you have like a little conversation about such and such, So...
And the London police were saying literally that they listened, that the commissioner or whatever, he listened through all of the audio recordings of her in jail, whatever. Nobody misgendered her. Everybody called her by her proper name, et cetera, et cetera. Like, so that, and then...
Well, that's in jail versus what it was like at her home. Like,
sure.
Listen, so if it's not hard for me to believe that she lied about and sensationalized everything for the purpose of like driving people to her GoFundMe. That's not like unbelievable to me.
The third thing that hurts too, and now this one I admit I'm on shaky ground. I've only had one person tell me this, and then kind of confirmed by a second person that I asked. But what I was told was that the London, Ontario police are like literally the most progressive police force like in the Western Hemisphere. That it is like an unbelievably ultra progressive area, that like they just did some police like trans recognition day or some shit, that these are like an ultra progressive police force. So the idea that these would just bust in with assault rifles and start being transphobic, the person that emailed me this and then another person later confirmed was like, this is unthinkable for the London, Ontario police force. It's like unthinkable they would do that. So all of that,
maybe
that taking it together, I think that she lied. I think she fabricated almost everything about the quote unquote trauma related to this. I think the police probably acted properly. I know that it sucks, but like I have never in my life judged the FBI for coming to talk to me, because if people are sending you clips of it making it look like I want to kill people, sure, I understand, come and chat, we can chat, like that's, I understand. Because if I did go out and kill somebody and you didn't talk to me, we've seen that happen with the FBI before, where they've got an open file on a kid and like he was making weird comments and nobody checked it and everybody looks like, what the fuck are you doing? So if emails are going out with her name and everything on them, then yeah, I can understand them like pulling her in for a day. But I mean, like, look at how communicative the police department's been. The commissioner made a statement about everything. They gave her shit back, I think the next day, right?
I think it was. My understanding was 3 days later, and started an investigation. That recent Vice police had her custody for 11 hours. 5 days later. Oh, 5 days later. Okay, yeah. So it took a little bit to get her stuff back.
Released her from jail that night. This is like expedient as fuck. I heard in the US, if the FBI jack your shit for investigation, you might lose your shit for 2 years. And even if you're innocent,
you're gonna get it back sometimes.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It seems to me like this police department went above and beyond trying to accommodate her in every size, shape, and form. Like aggressively, like polite and nice. So for her to come out and fucking steal $100,000 on the back of everybody.
Yeah, if they did that to me, I would be like, it was just an excuse to get a new computer. You know what I mean? You write that off of my taxes. Pop, pop, pop. We're all good. Yeah.
Claiming that she's going to sue. She's not going to sue. I tweeted it. You screenshot my tweet. She's not bringing a case to anybody. Nobody's going to take. There's nothing she can even sue for.
That's what I was saying before. That like maybe she actually wanted to sue because she was so frustrated, and then like the lawyers were like, "We're not taking this case because you're not going to win." And she's like, "I guess I'll keep the money." And then that gets in the conversation of like, should she have returned the money or not? I guess I just don't really care too much. If you're upset with her for that, that's perfectly fine. I personally, I feel like it doesn't matter to me if she gives the money back to people. You know, they donated it to her. It's always the possibility she's not going to be, going to get such and such. So whatever. I feel like that's the people who donated would be the ones that should complain. Like if they're not complaining, then like why the fuck am I complaining? You know.
$100,000.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was like $90,000. But
yeah, I want to make it clear. I'm really like, I'm glad that you did. Even if you're on even if there's somewhat of a risk or something like that. Even if the worst case scenario body camera footage comes out and they were like a little rough with her or something like that, or they were yelling or something like that, right? I'm glad you at least like took this gambit and took that risk, because it does force her in like a difficult position where she's got to substantiate.
She's not going to do anything. She won't do anything. There's never going to be a lawsuit. She's going to stop talking about.
Was it just for the money for the lawsuit, or was some of the money for her to move as well? Yeah, she had mentioned that. It's okay, so that's possible.
And then when it gets brought up in the future, she's just going to like vaguely mention like, oh yeah, we're using this fund in order to pay for other trans people in the future. It'll be some dumb shit like that.
And maybe pay for some other trans prostitutes, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm being very explicit, so you obviously would know what I'm saying. Let's see. Where did she post the GoFundMe? I'm kind of curious. What is this over here? If you have any Ukrainian followers, here is the phone number and address of where Kiwi Farms is currently hosted. Do your thing. Address, blah, blah, blah. Yo, Ukrainian friends, someone want to ring them and explain what's going on in Ukraine. The site is down, but I know Joshua Moon is... What exactly is happening here? If you want to remove websites like Kiwi Farms from the internet, I think the appropriate way to go is to support laws that criminalize behaviors like doxing, not to become an internet terrorist who implicitly calling for the officials in Ukraine to be bombed. Is that what she's saying? Is that what she's saying there? Hold on, let me reread that. Like the fine young gentleman I am. I'm just trying to understand. So this person posts an address. Yo, Ukrainian friends, someone want to ring them up and explain what's going on in Ukraine. If I have any Ukrainian followers, here's the phone number and address for where Kiwi Farms are currently. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's some kind of an inciting of something onto, onto them. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's not good. It's a hosting site. Yeah, I mean, that just seems like a quite a bit too far. I guess that she would probably she would probably hold to the perspective of, well, they're really bad to me, so it's like I could do whatever I want to them. I imagine that's what you'd say in that capacity. But that does seem a bit of step over the line. But okay.
Kevin's already tried to link you to helping Kiwi Farms, and that fell flat. If you actually done to them, that's a different story. Sure, but like, what if somehow in the future we get wrapped up in something and then they come after like my site next, right? I imagine there's actually, I don't know who has more supporters, Kiwi Farms or me. I don't know how big, I guess, in totality all the people are. The idea of like, I don't like this website, so, because I think, is Noel the one posting, or is Noel just an admin? I don't actually even fucking know who runs this site.
Post official woo.
I'd have to see proof of this as well.
I'm trying to find her.
Noel does on the site. Is he Joshua? Is he the same guy? Oh, Joshua is Noel, yeah. The mob then harassed innocent people running unrelated third-party services by sending emails in the thousands and threatening their families. The mob claims to be oppressed when they can summon 100,000. I wonder if like other people have been getting emails that are like people that are like associated with Kiwi Farms. I wonder what that looks like. I'd be interested in seeing like proof of that, but just stop talking about it. If you wanted to donate, doing it publicly is the most brain-dead way to do it for both you and them. If I was to donate, it would only be publicly. Why the fuck would I do it privately? If I was donating to an organization like Kiwi Farms, it would be like a principal position that we would talk about. It wouldn't just be me throwing the money on the side to maintain harassment threads about me. You're fucking retarded. The only reason we would do it is because it would be a public affair. If I was to do it. I don't even know if I would. Obviously, there's a lot to consider on both sides. There are truly a lot of degenerate fucking crazy people on that site. And the site is the origination of a ton of fucking harassment. But the question is whether or not, like, should we, like, is it okay that those sites can just be black-holed by angry people on the internet? I don't know. That's weird.
I'll just say, like, if they're really doxing people to this degree, then, like, I feel like that is quite a step over the line where some regulation should happen in some capacity, especially if they don't do enough to monitor that behavior or stop that behavior before it happens, or, you know, do something about it. Yeah, I'm AV rep farming right now for...
She will die on, nobody cared about it a week later. Cavils has succeeded in gaining clout and money off this, but she 100% made things worse for her by rallying the entire site against her and increasing their rank. Yeah, maybe, but like there's so much self-righteousness on her side. Like she has so much mainstream support for essentially being like a dog shit human being, right? Like Keffels is legitimately like one of the worst people I've ever seen on the internet, but because she has like the trans side to back her narrative up, she can go so much harder.
Are you saying that she has a trans privilege, Destiny? You transphobic motherfucker. I guess this would be potentially, we're still looking into this, one of those instances of that potential trans privilege, of course.
Like almost any other person I've ever seen with so much more support. It's like insane. Like in any other context, that person would be seen as like a hateful, harassing bully. That would be it. Like who directs mobs of bullies. That's all they would be seen as. But because she's on like a certain political side, yeah, I don't know. That's a little worrisome.
Can somebody send me the fucking Kiwi Farms, or excuse me, the GoFundMe if you have it, and just let me know. I'm still looking for it, but that would make this much easier because I'm like digging through her old tweets.
You deserve to be affected. Keffels.
I can't even. This is wild to me. Wait, does anybody have a link? Somebody said that Keffel said she wasn't suing anymore. Does anybody have a link to that statement? Because I don't want to say it was not true, but I saw somebody say that she's not suing anymore. She got swatted, quote unquote. She got swatted, quote unquote. The cop showed up at her house, arrested her for a single night. I don't even know if she stayed in jail overnight. She made $100,000 off of that. She made $100,000 off of that, and now she took the money and she's moving to Europe. Like, that's insane.
Somebody sent it to me.
That's unbelievable to me. Isn't it actually messed up that these communities will encourage and facilitate minors to take extra tea without the input of parents and psychiatrists? So, it's a really, really, really complicated situation.
Yeah, listen, that's one of the, yeah, it is a really complicated situation. Overall, I'm still going to hold to the point that, like, I don't really think that young people should really be getting hormones, but even before that, all right, so even before that, and we're going to take a look at this GoFundMe real quick. I think that you really should be like guided by a medical professional. I don't think that there's any responsible or safe way to do it without doing it like that. I understand that there are areas where conversation gets into like, okay, young people, I don't think should be taking hormones, before a particular age. Maybe I'd be down for like 16. Because I think that like people are still growing. There's an argument, there's like an environmental argument to say like there are some people who are in very environments, even on online environments, where they might not be trans and might misdiagnose themselves as trans. They might misdiagnose some of like their feelings of frustration as being having gender dysphoria, when they might just be like depressed or something in a different capacity, because there are associations with different mental health issues associated with having gender dysphoria. So I think you really should be guided by a medical professional. Obviously, in more conservative states, you may just not be able to get any help in any capacity. So it's tough. It's a tough situation, and I haven't fully formed an opinion on it. But I still think it's irresponsible to direct people. But I wouldn't say, if she's just saying, here's DIY hormones, and then saying like you should make sure you get a diagnosis before you take anything, that's fine. But it doesn't really add up her argument that she was saying that it's like, oh, it's for people who already got diagnosed and take hormones, like how insulin would work, where you can get diagnosed with diabetes and then you need to take insulin. Thing is insulin is very expensive. I know that personally. I don't think that hormones are nearly as expensive, so I can understand why you'd want to back channel the insulin. I don't know why you would want to back channel testosterone in the same, like, why wouldn't, if your doctor diagnosed you with gender dysphoria, I imagine they would be able to get you your hormones. Okay, let's see. Let's put this on here. I need your help because this is Keffel's GoFundMe. She raised $101,000. I need your help because I can't do this alone. I started a GoFundMe after being victimized by the London Police Services for being the victim of a hate crime. I need to move immediately, recoup my losses, and to build a legal fund to protect my rights. I have been subject to emotional damages, financial damages, blatant violations of human rights acts, and discrimination against me on the basis of gender identity and expression. I was also subject to unjust seizures that not only affected my livelihood, but also has severely disrupted the work my fiance is doing. I didn't even know she had a fiance in their doctorate program, which has the potential to impact whether or not my fiance finishes their doctorate. Because there is no policy in my city against swatting, there is no guarantee this will not happen again, and my home is not safe. My understanding is that if you consistently get swatted, you develop a rapport where they like call you first. They'll be like, hey, listen, we got another threat for you. We're going to call you. We have to stop by. But it's not as big of a deal as you consistently get hit. Oh, sorry. That's something that I was going to talk about later. Some weird shit on there. That's the girl from Ned's Declassified. She's going out of control. I just wanted to kind of talk to her for the all channel. Anyway, whatever. Update. The original moving goal was met, but the hotel I was staying in while looking for a new place to live was doxxed. I am now in hiding. I am keeping my GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I will be using to seek justice. What? Okay, interesting. So after reading this, assuming that she hadn't changed it, I don't really know how GoFundMe works. I was like, this seems interesting. It seems like most of the money is being donated for her to like potentially move and to support herself, et cetera, et cetera. She's pretty explicit about that. But then down here, the update, the original moving goal was met. What was the original moving goal? What was her original goal? Do we know how to look at that? The original moving goal was met, but the hotel I was staying in while looking for a new place live was doxxed. I'm now hiding. I'm keeping the GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I'll be using to seek justice. So $40,000 was her goal. So that means by what she's saying, anything after the $40,000 is going to a legal fund. So now we're sitting at $60,000. Now we can, even if by the time she did this update, she had like $80,000, for instance, and like she's like, the goal was met, now we're moving on. Yeah, it seems like logically 60, like she's saying 60,000 are for lawyers. So this part to me makes her look worse. When did she update this? This was after she got doxxed again, or swatted, whatever, doxxed again, and then she updated to sue. Okay. When did she announce she's not suing? I mean, there's a lot of questions. It seems like she's saying it's explicitly for. Did she update and say that she's no longer suing now? Is that something that she updated with? I mean, again, like, she uses money for whatever she wants, but it does seem like she updated. At first, she was like pretty roundabout about the potential for suing, or it was like part of it, but a lot of it was for like moving costs and et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, okay, I mean, I get that. But now it seems a little bit more explicit. Okay. Let's go.
So here are a few realities, okay? I don't like the idea of people with no vetting and no oversight talking to minors about HRT. That's a really weird conversation to have, and I don't trust anybody to have that conversation from Keffel's community.
True.
So
that is
true, 100%.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, though, there are people that can be in communities that either the wait lists are really long, or their parents are unsupportive, or the communities are unsupportive, and they have no access to any of this type of medication, absent some kind of gray market. In which case, these people are providing a service to that. It's a big pros and cons thing, and honestly, I could fall either way on it, like left or right. Like I'm 51-49 in favor of it right now, but yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, Nicholas Diorio made it in here. There's obviously not a short of evidence that this near person is even dead. Okay, I know what this is referring to. So there was somebody who potentially killed themselves. So it is too late for me, but I pray that somebody at some point will do something about that website. There are too many people suffering, and no one seems to care because we are relative nobodies online, and they know that evil triumphs when good men do nothing. Okay, so then Keffel's response, and that's Destiny saying there's no evidence that this person actually took their lives, and Keffel says, I'm sorry, the transphobic stalker website you have a verified account on and love to frequent is dying. I know it's hard for you to lose the one place where it's acceptable to mock suicidal trans people. Okay. Then she says, while the shitty site is still up, here's the account. He called himself a Kiwi farmer in the bio. He's talked about how much he loves the site and stream before. He gloated about sending his followers to my thread to harass me. Okay.
Keffel's response to your recent tweet. Yeah, what a dark day for the internet, dude. I'm probably going to do a show with Jesse talking about this soon, but like... They've moved on to trying to like vandalize my Wikipedia article. So now they're trying to get it to like show that like I've had accusations about working with Kiwi farms or whatever. Jesse Single? Whatever, however you pronounce his name. So Keffels is tweeting that like 2 of her most like virulent fucking fans are like spam editing the fuck out of my wiki article to try to get like allegations added about shit.
Okay.
Wonder where it's at right now. Oh, it's off right now, but... Did you contact Wikipedia? No, but I don't ever want to be like directly involved. I think that's kind of a weird, like, they are Vosh mods. Yeah, I wish it was possible to... I think this is like the current talk over whether or not they can just add baseless allegations to my fucking... Yeah, and then this any person here, you can look him up on Twitter, is like a huge like Keffels stan and shit. This is very, very, very fucking annoying. And then Keffels is like tweeting out my Wikipedia page for people to edit as well. Aren't those edits reviewed by real people in charge? Well, it's Wikipedia. There's not... Oh, this was another one of these people. Unless it's like a really, really, really large article, there's not going to be a thing. Content warning, sexual assault. Oh, she was one of these people too. Jesus Christ. Fake rape allegations, terroristic threats, like trying to get the fucking servers in Ukraine bombed. The stealing $100,000, lying about being swatted, lying about the police force. Like, it's so unbelievable. Like, that's probably going to be like the most... I think the Keffel stuff is the most doomer-pilled shit I've ever seen media act like in my entire life. Like, I feel like any of those people... I feel like all of those people should just be fired. Anybody that played into that, any of the Vice writers, I don't know if CNN had an article, any of her fucking friends at Kotaku, like, it's actually unfucking believable. You donated your life savings to Kiwi Farms?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's very difficult to figure out like all the specifics about these situations. Like, I would just not maintain. I mean, I guess I'm biased because I'm somebody, but it's difficult to get yourself educated on all of this content. You know, from what's going on with this Keffel situation. It really is difficult to fully understand what the fuck's happening.
Yeah, my kid's college fund, I just sent everything because I love Kiwi Farms so much. I don't know if you guys missed the news. I'll probably need to communicate with a couple guys in my chat. They've engaged. Keffels is encouraging people to vandalize my Wikipedia article, so that's what they are like doing now to fuck with me, is they're trying to add like stupid...
How does he know it's specifically Keffels? Like, did I just miss something, or is he just making an assumption on that? Let me know if I missed something.
Allegations to the bottom of my Wikipedia article, although I think they gave up this morning because I think they lost the rationale for their like vandalism was too shitty. But I will also say, and I've said this a million, billion, trillion times before, and I'll continue to say it, all forms of wiki vandalism. Oh, the wiki article is locked now. It's admin only. Gotcha. The wiki article, or I'm sorry, wiki vandalism is the most cringe fucking thing you could ever fucking do in the history of all of the world. Anybody that vandalizes wikis is a sub.
All the editors are Keffals fans. How do they know that? Like, what makes someone think that? Like, I don't understand how Wikipedia works that well. Like, that's really, it's my boomer art. I'm using the boomer argument. I'm not saying it's not them. I'm just wondering how he knows it's them, or why he thinks it's them.
Word, they're bad. Close call, that one. In my life, there is a family emergency. It has absolutely nothing to do with the forum drama. I cannot and will not elaborate.
You can see the person changing it. Yeah, but how do you know exactly? Like, it's on a Wikipedia page we're talking about, right? So, like, how do you know that person is associated with Keffals? That's the question I'm asking.
Completely unavailable, and it is unlikely the site will go down. And it is likely the site will go down during the time where I will not be able to bring it back up. I want to appraise our situation frankly. Cloudflare is both our application level DDoS mitigation and our domain registrar. They give me a way to transfer my domains to the registrar. I do not know what registrar to send it to because I don't have faith in any company. DDoS
name on Twitter. Okay.
Mitigation. Are you debating Nicholas Whitney today? I don't know who.
Username matching the Twitter. Okay. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it makes the most logical sense. Unless we get like conspiracy mode and go like, what if somebody was like posing as that person to fuck with Destiny to make Destiny think that she's doing this and that. This goes a little deep. It gets a little sussy if you ask me. Obviously, this goes very deep. This is like a fucking rabbit hole. This is like the worst one so far out of any rabbit hole I've dove down.
You've done it like 3 times. I don't know who Nicholas Whitney is. I have no idea who the fuck this person is. I heard he was a great debater. Is this just like a troll? Don't know. I have no idea. DDoS guard dropped us while I was writing this post. This meme about Russia being a free country is a joke. The US is a free country with no stewards protected. Without the US, there's no second best. So don't expect Cloudflare to crumple so quickly and don't have a plan C for DDoS mitigation. The Russia shit probably, if I had to guess, did Russia really drop them because of like pressure, or did they just do it because they didn't want to mitigate that much traffic? I kind of wonder. Was it really like Russia was like a Russian company's like, oh, this is bad PR, or was it just like we don't want to deal with this much fucking traffic? That'd be my guess, but I mean.
Oh, I know what they're talking about. So there was like Cloudflare. My understanding, Cloudflare it mitigates DDoS attacks, right? And DDoS is when you just overload the fucking system with a bunch of requests. So the question now is that they did the Russian company dropped them because it's morally virtuous, or is it just because they didn't feel like dealing without, like, they just felt like it was disproportionately high amounts of traffic and they just gave up? Why does that necessarily matter? I guess it comes down to like the moral argument of it. Like, why would that matter? I guess is what they're asking. Okay.
Resource allocation. I own IP addresses. RP allocation is from Internet 5. Private companies which allocate internet resources around the world. Internet happens to be based out of Australia, which recently passed draconian censorship law. Okay. Hosting. We have 1 host and I'm looking to 2 more. It's likely the host will give up 2. The 2 hosts confident they can handle the Kiwi farms are probably wrong. DDoS guard was confident they can handle Kiwi farms since they bring it on for less than 24 hours. How much traffic can a site like Kiwi farms have? When I say traffic, I'm not talking about legitimate traffic. I'm saying they're probably getting DDoSed because like internet terrorist Keffals and all of her friends are probably like paying for a whole bunch of services and like sending a whole bunch of like traffic their way, like illegitimate traffic.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guess she does keep. When I was looking through her Twitter, there were quite a few links. There were quite a few links talking about Kiwi farms being bad and whatnot. So it's actually not even close to unreasonable to be like, yeah, people are DDoSing them really hard. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice attack. There's a coalition of criminals trying to frame the forum for their behavior. These criminals provide opportunities for professional victims to amplify the message. Journalists canonize the crimes of the behavior itself. This machine. It was built up formally of 8chan and activities. Anytime the cathedral wants to test the new fronts, blah, blah. The Kiwi farms, I think Kiwi farms needed to crack down on moderation, and they should have changed a rule or two when everything started going public. They just went too full retard in trying to combat everything, I think. It was just stupid. Like, I think they should have clamped down on doxing. They should have just made when they started blowing up in attention, they should have just made a rule against it. They should have said no doxing, and then anything that even looks like perceived like external harassment should have been like insta-banned. I know that like all the KF apologizers will come out, or apologists will come out, oh, they don't do harassment, blah, but like, dude, nobody's retarded. Like, come on. Like, you have to, you paint yourself in the most unsympathetic light possible when your site is like posting full doxes and shit. At this point, it's hard to say what would have mattered, but they definitely didn't do themselves any favors. I will say though, I have made like an unfair accusation in the past against like Demon Mama about like posting shit on 4chan, which isn't really fair. I've never seen Demon Mama fake anything before. But I wouldn't put it past people to fake stuff now, because you can see that in this like internet war, like everybody's willing to go as hard as possible on the Keffel side. So it wouldn't surprise me if like bomb threats and shit were just completely fabricated, like they're posting on their own on this website to fabricate them, since they've shown that they're obviously willing to play with like every tool in the box. Are they still fighting over trying to vandalize my Wikipedia? So intimidating, a singular person could wield so much power. It's not a problem that Kiwi Farms is going down. The problem is Keffels is the one doing it. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's pretty spooky. I'm just investing.
Oh, does he agree with that? So the guy said that like it's not a problem that Kiwi Farms is going down, but it's a problem that it's Keffels doing it. So that's kind of some of the stuff that's like, okay, like does that like it, because some of the stuff I see on Twitter of people like saying that Keffels getting Kiwi Farms down is bad, it just seems like unreasonable. They're like, oh, now some of the stuff is gone, so it's hard for people who like do have a thread on them to look at the threads so that they know if they're in danger or not. And it's like, you know, nothing's always is ever going to be 100%. But it just kind of feels like everybody's trying to take like the possible good that she's doing like away from her in those capacities. And those are the times where I look and I'm like, that's skeptical, because that's the most I've seen on like Twitter is most of that like incredible skepticism. Because from what Kiwi Farms sounds like, still is a fucking dog shit website that shouldn't exist, specifically because doxing seems to be at the very least tolerated. I don't know if it's encouraged, but it seems at the very least tolerated, which is obviously not a good thing, you know. And so like that's one of those things where it's like, okay. It's like weird, suspicious framing. You know, I get like somebody you don't like did something, but like why, if it's a good thing that they're doing, why not just not talk about it? Instead of like having to be like, no, it's a bad thing. Like somehow this is bad. If it was anybody else, it would be good. But you know, that's where it gets really confusing.
Investing all of my money waiting for the shitstorm to head my way. Vosh, finally being good faith with you. Really?
Tweets, you know, the spiciest stuff. The times.co.uk, you know. There's Destiny, a friend of Kiwi Farms. You know, he's been sort of on their side for this. Taylor Lorenz has been pretty active throughout. Here's Annie, because you know a lot of the people who I'll say a lot of the people who have helped Keffels are with White Nervosa, and those people with White Nervosa are right here.
Annie was one of the big people trying to vandalize my Wikipedia article. She was the one that was tweeting about it, and I think she was one of the people trying to
sounds very good
be one of the big editors on that. Annie43, you can see right here. She was trying to vandalize it by including the allegations from Kotaku and some other shit article that were both just quotes of what Keffels said with no evidence or anything whatsoever.
To be fair to Destiny, he said Kiwi Farms was bad. He said Kiwi Farms and Keffels were like equally bad, like they were made for each other. That's like...
They deserve each other. They absolutely do.
No. No. So I've said this before, right? If you like equivocate, you know, like
well, if Keffels has a horse cock, then that's probably why Vosh loves her so much, right? That would be the reason why, because I know he likes horse cock a lot.
Fascist and
It's not equivocate, it would be equate.
Fascists. You're actually just defending fascists. We've done this before.
The obsession with the F word, the fascist word, is so stupid. Somebody said Vosh will eventually end up with a knife in his back. I don't think so. I think he's a little smarter than that. And by smarter, what I mean is like he has no value. So I think Vosh will continually sell out harder and harder and harder to get back into the good graces of like the ultra progressive wave.
Nice.
I think he's pretty much compromised like all of his values, all of his integrity. And once you're willing to do that, staying in good graces is really easily. Like generally, falling out of good graces will either usually happen because either one, somebody goes against something that like you value or believe in, which Vosh has no like consistent values or beliefs because everything is arbitrary and consequentialism or whatever. Or two, you get into like personal beef with somebody, and I don't even know if Vosh has any fucking friends to get into personal beef with.
Suits too buff.
Yeah. Did you remember Envy Person is the same person? Oh, the one that accused me of raping my wife or whatever? Or, yeah, this fucking cringe loser. Raping her on stream.
Just started watching. Can you fill me into what's going on?
No.
Okay.
I think they decided Mary Sue was a generally reliable, so that allegation might go back on your Wikipedia. The irritating thing about both of these articles is that neither one of these articles reached out to me for comment, which is irritating if they're going to include an allegation about me. And two, the journalist didn't do any research for either of the articles. They just reprinted what Keffels said uncritically. That seems like it's not standard operating procedure for most... I've had lots of journalists reach out to me in the past and say, hey, we're writing a story about this, you have a comment, or hey, I've had
yeah, that's actually a really good argument. I wonder why they wouldn't do that. Because you were talking about like the media not doing their due diligence for it, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be really difficult to get X, Y, and Z, but if they're actively talking about Destiny, and they're not just like, hey, what's up, then I don't know. That would lead me to believe that Destiny's lying, and they reached out to him, and he's... No, I'm just kidding. That would lead me to believe that they're just kind of looking for a good narrative, which is a trans girl getting harassed online. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not saying that that narrative is necessarily false, but I'm just saying that that just seems like the narrative that they're digging for. more than anything else if they're not doing their due diligence and actually like putting information together and figuring out what the fuck's going on. I'm gonna die here.
So many different publications reach out to me for that. It seems really weird that like the side like C-tier, Kotaku, and all these shit sites or whatever just like will reprint something uncritically and they don't reach out for comment for anybody. That's really...
That's interesting. I'm just kidding. Well, it is. I'm just sick of pissed.
Also, I don't mind being quoted on things I've said, but the quote from those articles was that my community was working with kiwi farms. Like, like it's just not true. Also, I don't know if Wikipedia has this rule or not, or if there's a way to report people for this. I don't think you should be allowed to edit Wikipedia articles if you're an activist on the other side. Like, why would you do that? Like, this person is clearly like an insanely radical activist.
Well, you know, Wikipedia is always saying, guys, we need $3. Please send us money. And then I just say no. So if we all just gave them $3, maybe they would be able to do that, implement that system.
In fact, like they work with White Nervosa on all those white leaf bullshit sites, and they've like made like fake rape accusations about me on Twitter and shit. And my wife, like, why would this person ever be allowed to fucking touch my Wikipedia article? That's fucking insane. Like, that's some wild shit. I don't know. If that's your logic, which I agree, then who should be allowed to touch Trump's wiki or Hitler's? Is it people uninvested? Well, like, let's say, for instance, like if you're like an activist for a Democrat, you like a Democratic anything, like if you work in BLM or anything like that, you probably shouldn't be allowed to edit Trump's Wikipedia article. I think that's fair, right? If you've been to like one protest, that's fine. But if you work for like the BLM organization, or if you're like a lawmaker in Congress who's like a Democrat, probably shouldn't be able to edit like Trump's Wikipedia. I think that's fair.
So you don't think Wikipedia is a secure place for information that isn't easily altered, like you said before? Paraphrasing.
No, what I said before was that there can be vandalizing on smaller articles, but larger articles are generally taken care of because they'll have like an owner of the article, and those articles will be locked from public edits. That's exactly what I said before. I understand that you don't like to listen to me because you're just like farming for opinions that reinforce your particular point of view, and you don't actually intellectually engage with anything I say at all. But I'm pretty sure you can go back, and that's what I said verbatim, that smaller articles can be vandalized all the time. It happens. It's an annoying thing on Wikipedia because anybody can literally go in and edit those. But for larger and more mainstream articles, they tend to have like owners that own those articles, or they tend to be locked from public edits. If you'd like to include allegations that Destiny is involved in the weaponization of both this audience and Kiwi Farms in order to abuse it.
I like how he just added that. Didn't really need to be put in there, I feel like, but he just did just to fucking dunk on that person. But that was actually very funny.
Transgender streamer, they need to wait until evidence emerges. One streamer claiming this happened while not having a single reliable source corroborating the accusations themselves, not evidence. Adding claims of targeted harassment to someone's Wikipedia article as soon as they are made and before any evidence can come to light is very responsible and right for spreading misinformation. I hope you understand why I wish your edit to be reverted. Wikipedia editors should not attempt to compile evidence. We do not wait for evidence to emerge. Instead, we summarize reliable sources. These are the two-cited sources. It's annoying because both of these sources, it's the same source! All they do is uncritically quote, they just both uncritically quote fucking Keffals, and that's
BLM
it.
supporters have been allowed to summons trial.
The real question, I guess this is like an exploring question. I was gonna say, do you think, but like how much of this do we blame on Keffals, and how much do we blame on society for potentially, because this is what it seems like, letting Keffals get away with it, which I guess I'd be part of the problem there, right? But like, for instance, like I think the media articles probably bigger than anything else, because you would expect some level of professionalism. Like if I went out and I lied about something on a news article, and then they would reach out to the other person and they'd be like, what do you say? And then they would probably be like, okay, we have something that's conflicting here, so we're going to have to investigate this further, and we're going to look into some sources that we can find. With the Keffals thing, that they're not doing that at all. So it's like one side gets to speak and the other side doesn't get to speak in any capacity. And then like, because obviously I didn't do like the research, I'm not shitting on anybody, but then like even with the Ethan Klein thing, he talked to Keffals, but he didn't talk to Destiny. Right, and like he probably wouldn't, because him and Hassan, Destiny and Hassan aren't particularly big fans of each other. But then it's like, where else would you get the information from? Right, there needs to be like some kind of content creator who's solid. You need like an iNabber to put together a Keffals video. In a more objective sense, but it's like hard to do that because the information is so skewed, and it's hard to like get everything. It's crazy. It's fucking weird how like how kind of deep it goes and how like of a rabbit hole it is, you know?
Oh, serious question.
Should BLM supporters have been allowed on Chauvin's trial? You'd have to go through jury selection and all that for that. That's a jury selection is like really complicated. I don't think I mentioned this fucking article. I don't even know why this article got quoted. Why is the PC... Oh, nice. Why is the PC Gamer source relevant for this article in regards to Keffals? There's no mention to Destiny at all. The only relevant source for these edits is the Kotaku one. The allegations mentioned in that article are on the back of speculation on what Keffals' stream was going to be about before it happened, with no reference to where these allegations are coming from, or any reporting, or any response from Destiny himself. The source doesn't seem to be very reliable.
You should talk to Fred Brennan about Wikipedia misinformation.
I'm probably good. Source doesn't seem very reliable in that sense. No mention of who's making the allegation. It is arguably in the bag of speculation of what a stream is going to be about. There are no other source mentioning the allegation at all, unless I can see otherwise. Doesn't seem impartial if one article can mention / speculate allegations, and for as long as no one else decides to write an article mentioning the allegations, those allegations can remain front and center without any challenge. If I write an article making allegations against you and there's no other source corroborating it or commenting on them, is it impartial to mention the allegations made in that case until another article is written about it? I don't think so. Like, happy with the integrity of the wiki mods regarding this? I mean, it got removed, so yeah, I'd say so. You're citing multiple sources that are reciting the same claim by the same interested party. You're not citing multiple sources substantiating the claim, or multiple parties are citing the claim. I think RTBA linked me like an archive where basically, this is so strange how this happened. Oh, it's not strange, it's okay. I just wish that people understood what they were reading. That like, all of these articles, anti-trans stalkers chasing Keffals around the world, anti-trans stalkers chasing Keffals around the world. Like these websites will basically just, they just like repost stuff from other sites like Vice.
Yeah,
or
that's pretty normal, unfortunately. It is so interesting though now, because as I'm watching this, like this really kind of feels like it's one of those it's like the liberal bigotry, right? It's one of those instances where they won't do their due diligence and like actually investigate the report because they're so, it seems like they want somebody like went after a trans person article so bad that they don't really care, because they want to seem like kind of virtuous and like woke and whatnot. So they don't do the actual research they need. And then that kind of comes down with like, none of them actually care about trans people. So they don't really care about Keffals or her trans experience. They just care about the headline on the article in this situation. That's what it kind of seems like.
What were the two ones that did? Was it Vice and Kotaku? And they just basically just repost the, whatever gets initially reported. So it's 100% automated. Yeah, I don't know if it's automated. It's just people don't realize sometimes. I know this when I do like debates on research with people. They'll say like, here's 8 studies. And I'll be like, 8 studies? You've linked me 8, first of all, you're linking me 8 media pieces, and every media piece refers to the same study. That's not 8 sources. That's 8 different media pieces linked to the same source.
Yeah.
Spooky. Hi, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Steven?
Nothing much.
All right, so listen, you please forgive me. I am like extremely like tired right now. I just got home from work.
Yeah, you're good.
And I haven't been watching your stream, but I have been sort of keeping up with like trying to keep up with the Keffal stuff. So just could you please clarify this for me, because I've asked around and I haven't really been able to get to clear answers. And yeah, so I kind of said something to you on Twitter the other day. You didn't respond yet, but your fans did, and it kind of like made me question a few things. So basically, could you like clear up for me, because I've asked around and I can never get a clear like clear cut like answer on like why Keffals, why such the hatred for Keffals?
Yes, exactly. I feel the same fucking way. I've asked so many times. Okay, all right. I understand my role in not finding the information, but this is the hardest to find information I've ever like come across in my entire fucking life when trying to talk about a topic. It's so frustrating because like there's like so very few resources to like, there's like none to look at. It's like, oh, you know, like there's certainly no one like no unbiased resources. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Because the answers I've gotten so far was like, oh, she's obsessed with ratioing. She was mean to Stardust one time.
The problem is that Keffals is like an internet bully. That's all she is. She's like a really hateful bully. But the additional issue with her is that she gets a lot of mainstream support because of her protected classes. That's why people hate Keffals. That's why I don't like Keffals. She's a genuinely bad person who is like a huge internet bully / terrorist now.
I know.
But she seems to get mainstream support because of her protected classes. So
what does he say? I want to know what he says to him like in this, because this is it seems like a bunch of different videos edited together for different stuff, and hopefully this conversation will like really clear up some of the shit, you know?
Frustrating to deal with it. Terrorist now, but she seems to get mainstream support because of her protected classes, so it's really frustrating to deal with it.
Okay.
She also has like engaged in a ton of misinformation. She lies about a lot of stuff. She misrepresents a lot of stuff. She accused me of rape. She called Chud Logic a pedophile. She lied about her swatting incident. She stole $100,000 from her fans and moved to Europe. There's like, it's thing after thing after thing. She harasses people from behind blocks on Twitter and social media, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, like it goes on and on and on and on.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to keep up with what you just said.
Okay. Yeah, sure. If I ever do something, if I'm listing a ton of stuff and you disagree with something, you can always just stop me immediately. We can go like one at a time if you want.
Oh yeah, no, this is perfect, because like I said, the people I've asked, I couldn't get clear answers from. It's always confused me, and you've expressed your hatred for this woman, and I just, I'm sure it's coming from somewhere. I just can never get a clear cut answer on where.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Let's start with
I like this guy.
Now I saw you on No Jumper the other day. You said Keffals accused you of rape, and then when I went and watched the video, it was like she said Destiny is a
stealth right?
He's a stealth apologist, and I think he might have stealthed himself. And then she sat there like awkwardly for like 9 or 10 seconds, and then somebody in her chat corrected her, and she said, "Oh shit, no, wait, I missed," or whatever. She walked it back. She didn't say I'm sorry. She didn't apologize. I do admit that.
Yeah.
And
well, she specifically said she would never apologize for something like that because I don't deserve it. She said that specifically.
Yeah. Well, I will say one thing. So if she said something like really dumb and then walked it back, but said I'm not going to apologize to Destiny, that's similar energy to Destiny. Saying like, oh yeah, it's always bad when somebody gets like raided or swatted or whatever he said before, but I don't care because she's a shitty person. So like that's one of those things where I'd be like, okay, like if that like that by itself, it's not good. But walking it back and walking it back means you're like, okay, this didn't actually happen. And I don't think Destiny showed us her explicitly walking it back, so I don't even know exactly how she walked it back. He kind of cut that part out of the beginning of the video. I'm assuming he talked about it a bunch of times, but I wasn't able to see in that. But like, yeah, walking back, like, yeah, that didn't actually happen, but not apologizing because you hate the person, still not right, but it's not like pushing a false accusation, if that makes sense, you know?
There's a tweet later I can come, yeah.
No, there you go. That's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so boom, there you go. The strike one. So I can never like square why you always.
What's tweet? Wait, what?
There's a tweet later I can come, yeah.
No, there you go. That's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so
you might have showed that at the beginning.
There you go. The strike one. So I can never like square why you always said like, oh, she accused me of rape when clearly I know you saw that she walked back, but now you're saying that no, she stated later that no, I won't apologize for what I said. Actually, I'm glad I said it. Basically,
I also I don't mind if like that incident on its own, isolated, like isn't that big of a deal. It's kind of annoying that she would just uncritically state that in front of her chat and then wait 20 seconds and then walk it back. But on its own, I'd be like, okay, well, she's a dumb fuck, whatever. But the problem is that she's engaged in this type of thing over and over and over again, and there's obviously a pattern. And she plays like she's very much like a fascist when it comes to like facts. Like whatever narrative she needs that suits her, she'll adopt whatever set of facts she needs for it. And she'll even like blatantly admit to lying about things too. Like here's like a screenshot of like these tweets or whatever, where she's
what we got here? Show me the money.
Like somebody literally responded like, hey, I do need to point out something you got wrong on the stream. Destiny's offhand comments that he was friends with Null back in StarCraft days was a joke. Null's online history is extremely well documented, and if that were true, it would have come up at some point. And she literally says, I know, I wanted to respond to the accusation. It was just bait. Like she lies about shit all the time. Like,
oh, okay. Well, wait, hold on. That was about Moon?
At some point. Comments he was friends with Null back in StarCraft.
So Null has to do with Kiwi Farms? Yes? Isn't he like he's somebody who has like a lot of control? That's my understanding. Or is that somebody different? Null is Joshua. So Null is Moon. Is that what we're saying? Null is Joshua Moon? Is that what you're telling? I just need some confirmation for that. Jesus Christ. Okay, he's one of her. Okay, so she's aware that he was. So she's been heavily blaming him for this, the Kiwi Farm shit, and okay, she's aware that he doesn't actually have like any real association with the guy. Okay. Oh Jesus. Wow, this fucking is getting deep. Well, okay.
Respond to the accusation. It was just bait. Like she lies about shit all the time. Like,
okay, so all right. So far, the rape accusation, and then she said that you were friends with Null, which is dubious at best because she can't prove that. She's just going off of some offhand comment that you made on your stream about Null, which
kind of. So the only reason why
isn't true.
The only reason why I made that comment was because Keffals. I should put together a full timeline. I just don't want to like dive so deeply into this shit because that internet mob will roll over me. I'm powerless against them.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah, at some point they started to make accusations that I was like secretly posting on.
Oh, is he saying that he's afraid of Kiwi Farms? Is that what he just basically said? They'll roll over me? Wow. So I guess Keffals has really saved the day for everybody, huh?
On Kiwi Farms, or that they were talking about I don't remember. There was, oh no. So I post in my thread sometimes because I like to troll them because they fucking shit on me all the time. And we go back and forth on that. And they were taking a couple of my quotes out of context from my Kiwi Farms thread to make it look like I was close friends with the owner of the site. The owner of the site fucking hates me. Like he's shown up on he banned me.
Hey, I do need to point out something you got wrong on the stream. Destiny's offhand comment that I was friends with Null back in okay, he read this through. I know I wanted him to respond. Okay. Okay, so she's admitting. How the fuck did she get verified? Whatever. Okay. Interesting. Wow.
In the past, even though he fucking denies it, I know that he banned me in the past. He calls me a pedophile, and now he calls me a double pedophile because I'm friends with Max. That dude, he fucking hates me so much. So when I was in the thread, I just started talking about, no, me and Noel are actually like really close friends. Like, we're chill. And then he shows up and he's like, I'm not friends with this pedophile fuck. But like, they took just my comments, and then they started to make it say, look, Destiny's actually really friends with Noel, who hates me. And then I played into the meme a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering, it's a specific accusation against his wife, like him like assaulting his wife. I'm curious about that too, yeah.
Oh yeah, like me and him used to play StarCraft. It was like super fun. But like I only did that because they started falsely accusing me first. And then I trolled a little bit. And I think now she's just saying this because she's upset that she like fell for a troll or whatever. But like this all started because initially they were quoting things from my Kiwi Farms, falsely claiming that I was friends with Noel because of some out of context post like 6 years ago where I was like clearly fucking trolling. But yeah.
Okay, and then so how about your comments recently saying, saying that you think you're back in good faith, in good standing with Kiwi Farms, and see, listen, this topic is very.
Oh wait, what do you mean in good standing with Kiwi Farms?
Like, okay, so let me finish that thought first.
Yeah, go
okay,
for
so
it.
you were saying basically that you think they're on your side now because you've been arguing with more transphobic people, so they
no I've said in the past
ironically or unironically think that you're transphobic now, and so they're like on your side now basically.
I've said in the past that like a lot of because I fight with trans people now, a lot of the people in my thread they spend more time like arguing about the trans people I fight with than me sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But so that's sort of like you're not being serious. Like you don't really like.
Well, no. What it sounds like he's saying is like, hey, okay, this happens. This unfortunately happens like all the time with like a lot of people. Is if you have a nuanced perspective on a topic, and doesn't matter. There's going to be people who will follow you just because they don't like the other person, right? So if you make a take that's like, oh, I don't think that trans women should be in sports because like I don't hate trans people. I wish they could be, but unfortunately they have a biological advantage, and I think that it would be unfair, right? It's like a really reasonable take, where like you're not trying to be like a complete douchebag asshole piece of shit. Of course, your comments are going to be full of people saying like, yeah, see, that's really a man, and like all of a sudden, dumb fuck transphobic people will latch onto it. So it sounds like right now, we're kind of in our he may be talking more about like some stuff that would be considered anti-trans, where it's probably mostly just like just trans women in sports shit. And because of that has had the the outcome of like unintentionally pulling in a more transphobic audience. That sounds like what's happening here, and it happens, and I don't like think that he's a shitty person for that, but okay, don't fight me.
So
I mean, they still hate me.
Like
but
looking for good standing within Kiwi Farms.
No, of course not. Absolutely not. No, if you were a content creator looking for good standing in Kiwi in your KF thread, you're a fucking moron. But like everybody does that.
Well, no, but honestly, like I mean, I would think you would kind of want to like not be on their bad side, right?
Well, I mean, you don't want to like provoke them. I personally don't care that much because internet hate doesn't bother me, and I'm pretty like insulated from shit because it's whatever.
Yeah.
So like I'll show up in my thread and like troll every now and then. But
okay.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for like getting good standing with Kiwi Farms. That would be a mistake.
Okay, so this is exactly what I want to clarify. I've heard you, say things in the past that kind of made me wonder, like, not that it's like any of my business, but just to kind of like get context on this Keffals situation. So another thing that Keffals has claimed, and that I haven't seen you address. Like I said, I haven't watched every stream. If you've gone over this, I apologize.
Yeah, you're good.
Maybe this is a little selfish, just calling you just to get answers for myself. But these are like questions that I've searched out outside of you, and I could not get a clear answer. So okay, so she claims that you, on the day that she got doxxed, right? She claims that you, and I'm not running defense for Keffals.
Yeah, you're fine. You can just say whatever. I'm not gonna like jump in your throat. You're okay.
Yeah, no, but not you. But just I don't want people to have the impressions that I'm on here to defend Keffals. I'm really just on here.
Yeah, well, see right there. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Listen, okay, I understand why people hate Keffals. I'm getting more of an understanding now. All right, I get it. I get it more and more when we watch this. But I will say that does not seem to be any level of like sympathy of like, okay, this is hard to get into. A lot of people have been like so invested in this lore that you've seen it personally, but it's not like documented anywhere. And so this guy is like fucking afraid just to be like, yeah, I just want to ask a question without getting my fucking asshole reamed. Which is how I felt a little bit after the video I posted with Ethan Keffals. I feel like I feel like some people were, but then again, I have to stop being such a sensitive pussy. I'm just saying, cut me just a little bit of slack, all right? I get it. There's gonna be a little bit of slack. That's all I'm asking. Okay. It's hard to be instantly educated on everything, and a lot of times you like educate yourself through like getting shit wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's just so much information into this shit.
Clarification.
Yeah.
Like honestly. Because I don't even watch her. I watch you basically. So, but these are things I want to clear up. So she said that on the day that she got doxxed, that somebody had posted in your chat the link to her docs, but KiwiFarms.net is banned term in your chat, so they were timed out. But then she said that you actually yourself had reposted the docs, or like first you asked like a question about it, like, hey, what's going on with this, guys?
Yeah, so she's always like really sneaky with how she'll do it. So like what'll happen is like I'll reference the fact that she has a thread. Or I'll ask somebody like, have you guys seen like what was posted or whatever recently? And then she'll be like, oh, he's linking to my docs. I've never I don't even know if I've ever linked. Have I ever linked her thread in my chat?
She showed in her video the 7-hour stream she did. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but you probably aren't sure yet. But she said that she showed on screen. Now, full disclosure, it appeared the dates were two different dates because I like paused and looked at it. So what looked like happened was like one day, like at the end of I I guess it was the end of July, or maybe, please don't, I don't know the exact dates, but like the end of 1 month that it was the like very end of 1 month, you had mentioned.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm remembering more. Okay, sorry. I have to ask my community because people make up so much shit. Okay. Not you in particular, but sorry, I didn't mean you then. Okay, so a long time ago, Keffals was claiming that she was getting tons and tons of like targeted harassment and people trying to dox her and shit. And she was claiming it was all coming from my community. And I think a long time ago, I think I linked her KF thread and I was like, this is where it's coming from. I don't know why she's blaming my community when her Kiwi Farms thread has gotten like 500 pages in a month. It's insane that she's blaming my community. And I think that was the only time that I linked it in my community. But it wasn't because I was like trying to direct people to it. It's because I was getting frustrated that she was blaming my community for being the source of harassment when it's obvious that it was Kiwi Farms that was the source of harassment. But she was trying to like tie me like really desperately to Kiwi Farms, like a big goal of hers. Rather than go after my site after she gets Kiwi Farms shut down.
That makes sense. That seems to be the case, especially since she like tried to say that like they're best friends and whatnot. And then she walked it back. That's what it sounds like. It's like she used like walked it back. It's like, well, I was just trying to provoke a response. Like, okay.
And so, but your rebuttal to that is no shot. Like my community has no crossover with Kiwi Farms whatsoever.
Bro, like halfway into all of this shit going on, even today, I don't know as much today, but like there were so many people asking my chat, like they don't even know what the fuck Kiwi Farms is. Like if you don't know the community, it's a pretty esoteric community online. Like it's in the grander scheme of like all internet communities, it's not really that popular. Like if you know, you know, but a lot of people outside like have no fucking idea what it is. So
yeah, that's why it's been like getting so much attention lately because so many people didn't know what it was. Like people like who are deep on the internet, they've known about it for years and thought it was horrible, but they just sort of considered it part of the internet. But now that this whole Keffals thing, the mainstream media is picking it up. Yeah, so I understand all that. But her rebuttal to that, I guess, would be because I'm just going, like I said, I'm going off what she said in her video. I'm just trying to get clarification from you because you would be the best person to get this from. So she said that somebody posted on your Reddit. That was basically a post like, hey guys, like, they're really transphobic over on Kiwi Farms. Jesus, if you just spent 30 seconds over there, it's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life, it might have been a link to the thread, it might not to, but I do remember that the thread, it might have been a link to Kiwi Farms or it might not have been, but I remember the thread was directly pointing to the Kiwi Farms thread. Now, do you remember this post or like?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I think I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that?
I think it was a genuine comment. I don't think nothing she's saying is legitimate. She's made up almost everything. Yeah. I think it was genuinely because people didn't know. Like I said, a lot of people in my community like truly didn't even know that Kiwi Farms existed, and that Kiwi Farms is an unbelievably transphobic place. Like insane. Like they don't even refer to Keffals by her name. It's always by her dead name. I don't know if they believe in trans people at all. Some people tell me that across other threads that they do, that like they've got a slur called troons, and people are saying, well, they only call the bad trans people troons. They don't call. I don't know if that's true or not, but like just based on what I've seen in my thread and what I've seen in a couple others, it seems like they just completely fucking hate trans people. But maybe not across.
I don't know what's true that they use that troons for.
I don't know if they're
people or all trans people.
Yeah, I don't know if they're pro trans in other threads or not, or if they just universally hate trans people. I don't know that. I'm just not sure.
Well, guys, just so you guys know for context. Trolls are historically very trans affirming. I just want you guys to know they're usually all very trans affirming individuals. Okay, so like let's make sure we keep that in mind. All right. Oh fuck, I'm dying. Fucking toasted on
that. Okay. So when you say that, are you really being genuine? Like, let me ask you this: have you ever seen a pro trans thread on Kiwi Farms?
No, but I've only seen like 3 or 4. I don't browse the farms. I just go through my.
It probably isn't trans for me in any capacity.
A couple people that I know.
Right.
But I don't think Destiny is saying this to downplay Keffals. I think Destiny is just saying this to like, so he's like, I really just don't know. I don't go on the site enough to care. So
there's a lot of threads on Kiwi Farms. It's a big site. I can't generalize all of it just because what I've seen. In my thread, they're ultra fucking transphobic, 100%. But it might be the case that in other threads they're not. Maybe they just yeah.
Okay. No, cool. All right. Was that it? It was the. So can you continue? Because I.
Also, real quickly, somebody remind me of this in chat too. That post that was made on my subreddit was just calling out how ridiculous it was that people accused our communities of having crossover, because my community is like very pro-trans. I got a ton of trans people in my community.
I know.
And it was people were just saying that like Kiwi Farms is a fucking insanely transphobic place. It's crazy to think that people think there's a huge crossover between that community and my community. That's why.
I can never square what Keffals was saying with what I see.
Yeah, of course. Like, and also, here's my comment in my chat. This is exactly what I said when Keffals is saying that, like, I'm linking to her thread. This is why I was making those comments. So I'm just reading my logs. If she wants to blame my community, go for it. But she's actually fucking schizophrenic if she thinks even 1% is coming from us, aside from reporting shit. It's 100,000,000% obvious that the harassment is coming from there. And then I link to her thread, not to like directly to a doxing, but I just link to the thread. And I say, she has over 400 pages of thread on her Kiwi Farms. She has zero evidence.
Wait. Okay, so he's responding to her and saying like, hey, this has nothing to do with me. It's this thread. And then is she going to say that that's a call to action? Or that's like, you're trying to signal boost that Kiwi Farms thread now, Destiny? Like now is that what Let's look at my phone. Is that what's gonna be? Is that what's gonna happen next? Jesus Christ! Holy fuck! Wait, hold on. That message that she said that like, oh my god, what a okay. Jesus, that's a hell of a spin. Wow. Okay.
Because at this point, she was accusing my community of being the one harassing her, when she obviously has a huge KF thread where all of the harassment is coming from. That's why I was like talking about it in that context. I wasn't just linking it like, oh, go here and go dogs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would never do something that fucking stupid.
Is he gonna show the thing?
Well, yeah, right. But okay, so if you so
hold on. I think he showed it. I want to go take a look really quick, see if I can find it. Oh, okay, no, he didn't show it. Okay.
That's why I was like talking about it.
Well, yeah, right. But if you know that you know she's receiving harassment from Kiwi Farms and she's confusing your community with Kiwi Farms, I'm just like, why would you post it? Like, why would you direct your?
She's not confused. No.
That's such a good question, but I'm starting to get turned. I'm starting to get a little turned. That's totally would have been my next question. I was like, Destiny, if you know that she's getting so harassed by Kiwi Farms, why would you do this? Part of Destiny to be honest with you, from what I've seen from Destiny, my best bet would be that like he knew it wouldn't have been a good thing to put it up there, but he just doesn't give a fuck about her anymore, and he's tired of her like falsely accusing him of sending harassment. So he's like, yeah, this is where it is. So he probably could have acted in more responsibly, but I will say, and it's something that I've been guilty of doing, there's a lot more charitability for Keffals than there is for Destiny. Yeah, turned on. I'm getting really turned on. That's what I meant. I'm starting to understand. Hey, listen, Keffals just has white woman tears plus trans. You know what I mean? Like that's like L plus ratio. It's actually insane. That's what it sounds like. It's a joke right now. That might actually be true though as we move on. Okay, but we'll see.
No, hold on. She's not confused. She's deliberately lying. She's not confused. She knows what she's doing. She's a relatively sophisticated internet user. Like, she's unironic.
And that makes sense that she knows what she's doing, because what did we just establish? That she was just calling him out, saying that he's attached to Kiwi Farms, Joshua Moon, but just to provoke a response. So it's a reasonable assumption to make. I mean, I guess you never truly know what her intentions are, but it's a really reasonable assumption to make that she knows what she's doing, right? Okay. All right. Maybe she doesn't, but okay.
A professional victim. She knows what she's doing. None of this is on accident or by confusion.
Yeah, but you know what you're doing too, right?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to demonstrate, because a lot of my community didn't even know what Kiwi Farms was, and we were being accused of like being like the lead doxers and harassers. She would constantly conflate my community with like saying like, oh yeah, we're getting harassed and people are doxing my mom, and Destiny DGG.
I think Destiny knew what he was doing when he posted that. I don't think he did it. I don't think it was like, here, I'm just going to show everybody. I think it was more like, I don't care, because she's being such a piece of shit. By his logic, she's being such a piece of shit that I'm just going to post the actual. I'm not going to just be like, oh, it's from a Kiwi Farm. So it's like, okay, here's the thread. And additionally, it extra proves that it wasn't him, because there's so many people, or there's so many like lines, whatever, form pages. That's the word I'm looking for on there. So it's just like affirmed proof without protection of Keffals, because he just doesn't give a shit about her anymore. You're right. Okay.
Involved in blah blah. I was like, no, we're not, dude. Look at this fucking thread. She's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying like you're 100% like against the thread, but you're saying, hey guys, you know, this is not you guys. Like, obviously, look at this. You would never say this.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then that's where the other post on my subreddit came from, where somebody was like going through keywords, like, holy shit, look at this place. This place is fucking insane. And it was a comparison between our two communities.
Okay.
It wasn't just like, hey guys, go check this place out or whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. I accept that explanation. But my only thing would be like, you know that like I genuinely believe you thought like what you were doing was just showing people the thread. But in my mind, as a small content creator, I know like that if I were to post something like that would direct my community there, knowing that yes, you have a lot of trans people in your community, but the overall sentiment in this country is transphobic. Let's not, let's call a spade a spade. Even leftists claim they aren't, but like I see a lot of transphobia in liberal and leftist spaces, and obviously the right, but that's a whole different story. So it's just like I would never say you're encouraging this what Kiwi Farms did to her, but it's just I'm just trying to square what you're saying with what I see, and it's I don't know.
But there's no, and what you say, there's no transphobia in my community. We're not transphobic.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
And if it does show up somewhere, they get like.
That's not true. I'm in Destiny's community. Okay. I'm not in his community, but I am very transphobic. I'm just kidding.
Oh, sure, I don't care. That's Keffel's
What's going
fault.
on,
That's
brother?
100% on her. If she's going to make accusations of my community, I have to defend my community. And if I have to point out that there's another huge source of harassment, I'll point it out. I don't think my members of my community are going over and like posting in the thread now. I mean, maybe some people more might follow it, but I don't think my community doesn't participate in KF, not that much. It's just the communities are so different. And I know
You said if she thinks even 1% of the harassment is coming from your community, she's schizophrenic. I mean,
yeah,
really?
it's not.
Like,
yeah, no, 100%. No, it's, and I understand your
Well, okay, so yeah, 1% of the harassment might be coming from the community, and the 99% other might be coming from like Kiwi Farms. But like there's a proportionality here, right? Like we can't associate all of a content creator's followers with them, right? Like there's a reasonable split. Like if like a couple of percent of your population, despite you saying like, hey, don't do this, is a bad thing, is doing a bad thing, there's nothing you can really do about it as long as you're being like very direct, like not calling hate, etc., etc. Like if like 80% of your or even 50% of your community is doing kind of shit like that, then it's like, okay, you have more of a responsibility because there's a lot of them. But you can't just say like all of like, oh, 1%. Like, yeah, no, even if there is 1%, it doesn't matter. Like, there's always going to be like a bad couple in the bunch, a couple bad apples, you know?
I'm not like, I understand why you're confused, but Kiwi Farms is a super specific type of like unbelievable fucking harass website. Like the people that post on KF are fucking deranged, okay? Like in my thread, people are posting shit like trying to find where my kid's mom lives and shit. These people are unreal. The level of like obsession and harassment that they engage in with other creators. Now they'll come out and they'll say, show me the specific post where we call for harassment, blah, blah. Like because KF dipshits think that they can play that game with normies on the internet. And they can, but the reality is that people know that a fuck ton of harassment comes from Kiwi Farms threads. You'll see the same insult that they use show up on your social media, et cetera, right? My community does not function like that in any way, size, shape, or form. They just don't. And if you dealt with like, there's a reason why when people accuse my community of doing stuff, they always point to like 2 0-follower accounts on fucking Twitter. We have an unbelievably fucking anal policy, more than any other content creator across any other platform of my size. No community is moderated harder than my community. Full stop. I have the best community.
Well, Destiny, the fact that your community needs to be moderated to that degree, it really shows a lot about your community. How do you like that? I think that's like a Keffel's response to that.
On the internet, when it comes to things like off-platform harassment or doxing, we have like zero tolerance policies on.
I'm kind of joking. Okay, it's a bit of a joke. Okay, I understand he does a lot to try to do what he's doing. Okay, all right, relax.
Of that shit. Even people that fucking joke about it will catch a perm ban sometimes, depending on what they're joking about. So the idea that somebody would knowingly accuse my community of that, and then fucking when they know that it's not coming from my community, they know that it's coming from another place. Of course, I'm gonna say, yo, look at that. That's where it's coming from. Fuck you. I have to say something. But sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, and I'm not. I don't blame you for saying something. I just want you to admit that you know the possibility of her receiving more harassment will come into that. Listen, that's neither here nor there.
Possibly, sure.
Like I said, I'm not coming here to make accusations or anything. So the next thing is, I guess, So I've heard you say she's she does like terroristic things on the internet. Yeah, so yeah, that always loses
internet.
What are we talking
so aside from weaponizing different mobs to attack different parts of infrastructure on the internet, I'm pretty sure they're engaged in a lot of like illegitimate activity against Kiwi Farms. So DDoSing, trying to penetrate different like servers or whatever the fuck they can gain access to. And then also the posting of the address of where their servers were located in Ukraine, implicitly encouraging people to bomb it, I think rises to the level of like terrorism.
Implicitly telling people to bomb it?
Yeah, somebody give me a link of the pictures for her tweet about the servers in Ukraine, and then I can send you that as well.
I did see that. She said we will be, to paraphrase, we'll be organizing outside the servers building in Ukraine. She gave the address and the phone number. She said to call them and let your voice be heard or whatever. She might have added some. We will not be stopped.
I don't think that she said that they're going to be organizing. I think that she just said like, if any of my Ukrainian followers, here you go. It was more of like a.
She had posted the address and phone number of the place, and she said, "I heard that there are pro-Russian people posting in there." Like that's like you're literally calling for people to like fucking bomb shit. That would not be seen as any other way in any other context, except for some reason people are willing to give her her a pass on it.
She's telling the Ukrainian people to bomb the Russians.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I think that's an easy read of that. If somebody has like an image of the, hold on, I want to send you an actual image of her statements, just so people can see. Somebody has.
So that's what you're referring to when you say that?
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
And then you say like it's a high probability that she's the one DDoSing.
Absolutely, of course, yeah. There's like a huge coordinated effort right now, and then trying to get them delisted from all of their like providers and all that shit.
Okay, and then your other criticism.
Wait, hold on, real quick. I really want these tweets. I think they're important.
Okay. Yeah. No, I actually do think I remember seeing this, and I remember people commenting that exact thing, and I don't like. I on one hand I can see like if you bad faith, not bad faith, one interpretation of it one way, and then like you can have another interpretation of it another way. But you did say implicit, so it's like. that's up to interpretation, right?
Sure, but keep in mind the different standard of evidence you're using for us, right? Like for me, you're saying by just linking to a thread, I should have some responsibility because I'm possibly maybe getting people harassed. But like the link to me is so tenuous. But like
it's not just a thread though. It's not just a thread.
Yeah, but like look at these. Look at these tweets.
Be clear
right?
what's in that thread. It's not you're just like.
Well, the thread is like
be careful with
1,000 pages long, right? I don't know how hard it is to find.
Yeah, and it's got very not compromising, but information that she obviously doesn't want out, like her.
Yeah, sure. Then I mean, like she shouldn't be making false accusations about my community regarding it. Like that's pretty easy. So like here's her tweets. Sure. If I have any Ukrainian followers, here is the phone number and address for where Kiwi Farms is currently hosted. Do your thing. Like this isn't an active war zone. If I tweeted something like this, I would be insta-banned from every fucking platform. Like that's like it's you're calling threats. Like
all right, that's really okay. My bad. I really did misremember that. That's pretty open.
It's all good.
Right there.
There's also like stuff like this too, where she's literally threatening to dox every single poster on Kiwi Farms. If you have an active Kiwi Farms account, I will not only post your name publicly, but I'll find out your employer and forward them your post history. I have no tolerance for hate, and users of this site should feel more scared to get as bold as they do. This is a hate group. She also posted pictures of Noel.
See this one. Let's see. Everyone upset that I posted a photo of Joshua and his mother are being performative as hell as a result of his form targeting me and my mother has been doxxed, gotten threats. This one I don't care about. If you have an active human rights, I will not only post your name publicly, I found out your employer for it. Well, okay, I actually do not like the find your employers thing. It's not good. It's not good either way. I actually do care about it. The only thing I was going to say is like I can understand why she would be so pissed off as someone who got doxxed, and it's still a disproportionate response, especially since like not everybody on Kiwi Farms is active in the Keffels thread. But I can understand why she'd have this disproportionate response in this particular instance. I'm not saying everything else that she's done that's bad is justifiable, but
no tolerance for hate, and users of this site should feel more scared to get as bold as they do.
Yeah, it seems like there's a there's obviously a higher standard for Destiny than there is for Keffels. And the reality is, this is because Keffels is like a white woman who's a plus trans, and Destiny is a bisexual man. And people, we still have all that biphobia is worse than transphobia. No, but there's definitely, I mean, the biggest reason is probably, well, depends on who you ask. I would obviously expect more out of Destiny because he's a much more respected and somebody I respect more. He is also very short. He's somebody that obviously is going to have a higher standard set onto him for being a reputable content creator, right? That happens a lot. Like, you'll see people will sometimes go on me harder than they would go on like another content creator that is much worse than me. But it's reasonable because they've come to expect like a standard out of me. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's probably part of it. But still, it does seem kind of like it is a double standard still. So
this is a hate group.
And it gets very frustrating when you're the person that like makes a smaller mistake, but you still get shit on as hard as somebody who makes a bigger mistake or even harder than that person.
Also posted pictures of Noel's mom. Everyone upset that I posted a photo of Joshua Moon's mother are being performative as hell. As a result of his form targeting me, my mother has been doxxed, gotten threatening phone calls, letters sent to her house in my dead name, and emails harassing for months, keep crying. So she's basically okay, like doing anything to anyone.
Is that not true? Right?
Yeah, see that one I'm like, okay, it's not good, but like what is Joshua Moon doing to stop the all the doxing? Like what is he doing to stop it? And the answer is, my understanding is nothing. He's not doing anything to stop it. So like it's not right. She shouldn't have done it, but it's one of those things where like he also shouldn't be creating allowing this space to do things that are like illegal and things that can or get people hurt. Is doxing? I feel like doxing is illegal, but maybe it's not. But either way, something that can get somebody hurt, which is doxing. That's something. So like he shouldn't have got, the mom certainly doesn't deserve it. But that one I can understand. It's like fight fire with fire, even if it's not right. I can get that one in that situation,
Yeah, but like hold on. So if somebody doxes like my family, can I go dox your family? Is that what we're doing now?
And you shouldn't, but like if it happens, like I'm not gonna have a moral outrage over it. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's like if somebody hits like punches me in the face, you can punch it back. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I get it.
Do we even know if Joshua's mom is involved in anything related to Kiwi Farms?
No.
Sure.
Here's other tweets about her mentioning.
Right. Trust me, I'm not saying two wrongs make it right, but what I'm saying is like.
I can understand it.
Like, how do you fight back against Kiwi Farms? Like,
in my opinion,
you just cower in the corner and cry, and like this is her way of fighting back, and like.
That's fine, but now she loses the right to complain about anything. She can't complain about getting doxxed. She can't complain about anybody doing anything to her ever because she's willing to go as hard as she can. This is why we discourage.
Mom's picture.
What?
Well, yeah, from the.
This is why, yeah, sure. This is why we discourage.
Yeah,
this is why we discourage things like political violence. Is because once you start bringing out all the tools, shit gets fucked. Yeah. And that's what she's been doing with Kiwi Farms. That's why everything's escalated so much. Is because she's like constantly poking the bee nest over and over and over again. But the difference is that she's savvy and she knows that she'll always have support for it. That's why she was able to steal $100,000 from fans and move to Europe. Because she knows she's always going to get mainstream support doing this.
I wouldn't say steal, but we did look into it, and it seems that she's trying to say that anything after the 40,000 mark is for legal resources. I wonder if she actually thought that she could sue, or if she was just saying that for the money. Like, that part we still haven't determined yet. Okay, we can't just say that she was grifting for it. You know, oftentimes when you see somebody that's like, you know, very intense and very illogical and crazy, for lack of a better term, they think that they're right. They're just fucking psychotic. And I'm not saying that this is her. We're still investigating. I'm saying that I've met people like that before.
What so you say steal $100,000? What do you like? Because I really.
When she got
time to keep up with all this shit.
Sure. So the police showed up at her house and arrested her for a night because they had gotten bomb threats, or not bomb threats. They had gotten threats from an email that posed as her. It was a person trying to get her swatted. She lied about the events and misrepresented everything that happened. And then after that happened, she fundraised $100,000 saying that she was going to take a case to court against the London, Ontario Police Department. Originally, she was trying to fundraise $20,000, but as the money kept coming in, she kept raising it to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and then it's gotten almost $100,000.
Oh.
Once all of that money...
Did she keep raising the goal? Because like last time somebody told me it was 40. So if she continued to raise the goal, and like, let's say she felt like she collected enough at like 80,000, now she's saying the extra, I don't really know, the extra 20,000 is for legal expenses, if that's the case. The goal was 40K? Did they keep raising it? I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. Do you see how fucking insane this is? It's insane. There's too much. How do you fucking get that? So she started low and she just kept raising it. I have to see that. I need to see proof of that. But that makes sense. Shut up. Don't tell me to calm down. I'll fart on you. Okay, that makes sense. Because then that could potentially show a level of greed. If the intention was like, well, I just got $20,000 really quick, so let's just say, fuck it, make it 30. You know, encourage more people to keep going. And then after you feel like you've... And this is potentially... I'm not saying that that was her intention. You know, but then after you get to a certain point, you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to say I'm going to sue. Because then I can get even more money. You know. Okay. I'm seeing where the interpretation comes from. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but I understand where the interpretation is coming from. But this shit's fucking insane. This thing's blowing my mind. There's so much here. Frankly, it just feels like probably just shouldn't interact with this person ever again. Like, it's like that's what I'm getting out of this, because it's so fucking psychotic what's going on here. Holy fuck.
Been fundraised, she eventually just moved to Europe, and now she lives in like Ireland or
like
something.
I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole, because I know she's in like articles and stuff, but how is somebody so irrelevant, so infamous? I'm not saying I'm super fucking relevant, but like for her size, especially on like YouTube, I guess, it's like how, like, she's in the news, but like nobody really knows who she is. She's like a fucking enigma, where like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not real. Like I said earlier, she's like popular enough to have like, to be infamous, but not popular enough to be like understood. You know, it's fucking crazy. Jesus Christ.
Shit. And she's not going to take any court case to court or whatever after lying about the original incident.
All right, so 2 questions. Do we have her fans complaining that she stole their money?
She's literally like Jesus to them. They'll never complain about anything.
Well, that is a really good question though, because if like, here's the thing, if listen, that's a good question, because if the fans don't care that she's doing it, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's one of those things where, and I said this earlier, but if everybody else except for her fans are complaining about that money, and it's some fans that are giving her the money, then I don't really care. You know what I mean? You know.
And then my second question was, well, obviously it's probably no, but did you donate?
Did I donate? No, fuck no.
Mm-hmm. Right. Of course, that's why I said it's probably obviously no.
These are good questions. Okay. These are good questions.
Right.
Okay. He got you, Destiny.
I got you there. All right. So in your view, that was like not right what she did with the money. You don't agree with it whatsoever. You feel like she misled her fans into
I got you there. You know, yeah, I like that.
Sympathetically donating money to her, thinking it's going to one place, and she actually pockets the money. You said she moved to Europe?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Cool. All right. Was that? I think that was it. Like, so these things, like I said, I have no like position on this one way or the other. This seems like a back and forth thing where both parties, Kiwi Farms and Keffels, are wrong.
This guy.
You're kind of in the middle of this shit. Like, you know, obviously you have your history with Keffels, but it's like, you know, you're caught in the middle of this fucking war, and yeah, it's
you have
just
a link
crazy.
when it was 20K? Send it to me. Send me the link.
just to see all the discourse online and back and forth and accusations flung, every which way. I've seen all of them against you, and I've seen you defend them, but I've never seen you like talk about some of these things on stream. Like I said, if you have,
I'd really like to see Keffals like respond to this video. That would be very what the kids would call poggers. Okay.
I missed it.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that's basically it. Thank you for clearing that up.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't actually think of that. The problem is she doesn't have many fans. Most of the people that are donating to her are people that watch the news. Okay, that's possible. That's possible. That's a good point. I was just saying that she's not super relevant, so I think she gets a lot of like live stream viewers. I think like 1,000 concurrently, right? So 1,000 for like $100,000, $100 each. Am I doing math correctly? Yeah, I guess. Plus, she has a lot on Twitter. Yeah, sends on Twitter. Okay, yeah, it's possible, but they probably just don't even know. Yeah, see that actually makes more sense. It's not just her fans. Then it's like about potentially be people that like old grandma from across the country that's like, I have a trans daughter, and I really want to be affirming. I'll give you $30. Like that. It's possible. I don't know. Let's see. Archived. Okay, interesting. Legal funds. So this was when it was at 20,000 CAD. How does this fucking Wayback Machine work, dude? Wow. Okay. $2,000 from Anonymous. Well, that person's a fucking idiot. If Keffals did like an OnlyFans, I'd donate. Whoa! I'm getting my ass beat. Okay. Interesting.
I have no, nothing else right now, no agenda really. I just wanted to just clear that up, and hopefully that maybe clears it up for some people who weren't following so closely. But yeah, no, cool. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, Steve.
All right, have fun, be careful, bud.
Have fun, be careful, bud. Found out who the Kiwi Farms user was that... What did I do?
And so this is all a lie. She doesn't bring up the...
You gotta be fucking my mom's tits. Okay, hold on. I'll be back in a sec. I'll be able to get it back there in a sec.
Clearing that
Wait,
up.
where did the chapters go?
All the discourse online.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? There was chapters on this. Wait, I think I'm right there.
Defamation.
Oh, we were. Oh, didn't even have to. Don't even have to edit the video. Okay, hold on. All
right. Defamation.
Okay, I'm really trying to get to this part. All right, I found out who the Kiwis Farm user was who doxed my mother and sent him a photo of him and with his mother, and then addressed him by his name, and he deleted his account. Okay, so she doxed a person that she thought doxed her. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Defamation is like really hard to prove in the United States for public figures. It's very, very, very difficult. I don't know what it's like in Canada though. It might be easier in Canada. She continues to post lies about me on Twitter. They've tried to go after one of my sponsors. Arguably, I got banned from Twitch after she made false claims about me hate rating her. I kind of wonder if there's anything there. I'm probably gonna reach out.
It's funny though. She could obviously just claim that like Twitch never gave an explicit reason, so like you can't even claim that. So, but she did take credit for it.
One or two law firms tonight. I'll shoot emails. If anybody thinks I could take the case, that'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind dumping like $20,000 or $30,000 into seeing
Right. If only.
Into seeing if that like could have legs. Because it is insane that she can.
Imagine like, yeah, I just got like 20, 30 grand just to see if I could do something. I don't know. If it can, it is what it is. Can you imagine having that much fucking money, dude? That's bananas.
Just lie on Twitter. But like, just as a heads up for all you fucking morons posting in the chat, I feel like there's like an 85% chance that the guys are like, oh yeah, like this isn't strong enough for defamation, or it wouldn't be worth it to pursue this in court, or whatever, blah blah blah. So
yeah, probably.
I thought about putting together a big thread and tweeting out GoFundMe for scamming, because yeah, she's admitted multiple times to knowingly lying about me. I think I'm pretty sure that given the last Keffals logs, if that leak is real, I'm pretty sure that Jesus, what is this? I'm pretty sure she knowingly like lied about her GoFundMe, which is supposed to be against their terms of service. But hold on, what is this?
How's this guy not dying? Is he a paladin? Oh shit.
We'll just read these out just so that people know. So here's like the context for this. Also, warning, transphobia, because everyone on Kiwi Farm, well, I guess not everyone, but a lot of people on Kiwi Farms are transphobic as fuck. So all of this is going to involve dead naming of Keffals and using the wrong pronouns, etc., just so you know. If you see his or Lucas, it's always in reference to Keffals because they like to dead name the fuck out of her. Trigger warning. I don't actually care about the trigger warning. I'm just letting you know that I don't support dead naming or transphobia. Something that is, so here's the backstory on this. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but so K-Dog, Keffals, tweeted out that she had actually wait. Where's the link to her deleted messages about doxing the Kiwi farmers and then saying that she was going to send pictures to his mom? Can somebody link that real quick? Is there any way for you to get the reason for your Twitch ban and the communication between admins for making this happen? That would be the best memes. I mean, theoretically, that could show up in like Discovery, but I don't know if that would be involved in criminal or in civil court, or I have no idea. You'd have to ask an actual lawyer about that. I don't know.
What's happening in the background of Destiny? Is he also building a comedy club, and that's why there's all this construction noise?
Okay, so if you were not aware, Keffals posted some ominous tweets. I found out who the Kiwi Farms user was who doxed my mother and sent him a photo with his mother and addressed him by his name, and he deleted his account. Wait, is the queen actually dead? Okay. Ooh, Brandon, you just got a 7-day ban. Good luck. Why the fuck would you... Oh shit, it didn't go through. Now you got a 30-day ban.
What?
So, K-Dog tweets out, I found out who the Kiwi Farms user was who doxed my mother and sent him
Did Brandon get banned for the queen? The queen did die. Or maybe that person just got banned for something else, though.
Photo with his mother and addressed him by his name, and he deleted his account.
Sounded like he thought she was joking, or they were joking. It's actually fucking hilarious, Destiny.
Unlike him, I'm not posting it online. But if he comes back, I know where he works, and will forward his entire post history.
It was before they actually died. Maybe that person was a secret informant and knew more than him. You know. Destiny,
here are those DMs.
Fact checking.
Now, allegedly, it is possible this person went through a great deal of effort to fabricate these DMs. That is possible. And unlike the dishonest fucking losers on the other side of this debate, I will admit to you that it's possible, though highly unlikely. It is possible that these DMs could be entirely fabricated. But here are the DMs from that supposed dox, where Keffals supposedly doxed somebody, but I think they did a fail dox, meaning they doxed them, but it was wrong. Here are those DMs presented in their entirety.
All right.
Keffals' first DM. Thank you for being my biggest fan. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm always here for you, friend. Ayo, finally, I get to talk to the man himself. Hey, can you debate my friend A1 Steak Sauce on the NBA? You could reply any year now. I know you're on all day, LeMayo. Also, congrats on hitting 800 pages. You don't care about drama, but DM me at 2 a.m. in Kazakhstan time to try to flex on me.
What?
And then I guess this is a tweet by her, Keffals, that she'd made. Keffals responds finally. Okay, you lost open DM privileges by A-logging too hard. You need to blah, blah, blah. I'm just...
Okay, so that person harassed the fuck out of her, and then she responded with the wrong docs. Okay.
Pointed in you. At least make things interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Keffals shoots him a picture. Your mom is cute. Is that Winter? This Winter, I believe, has no relation to the Winter posting on Kiwi Farms. Let
me just tell you something. If that mom is not cute, okay? I'm not going to... I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, but Keffals, you're a liar. Okay.
Related.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry. That's not nice. I'm sorry.
Are you serious or are you trolling? Cracker IQ. Laughing face. Your God complex has you making some dumb decisions. And then this is a link to Onion Farms. I don't know what the fuck this website is. Maybe an archive of Kiwi Farms? I don't know. You gotta respond now, bro. You're dumb as fuck. Well, I'm sure you're on all kinds of substances right now. Dog, you're legit trying to dox random ass after spending months crying about it. Fan behavior, by the way. Nah, fatty, I see you tweeting.
I will say, because like obviously it's like, oh, I'm pissed off this person's being a piece of shit. I thought that this person tried to dox somebody that actually mattered, not just some fucking moron in the Discord. I just block people like that. You know? Now why obsess and like take like hours at a time to just fucking like go after this person? Like, yeah, they're a piece of shit. Block them and move on. You know, don't give them like the response that they want, which is to engage back. And then you got it wrong. This is actually really bad. This is obviously one of the dangers of doxing, is that like you could potentially dox the wrong person. That's why it's just a fucking dumb thing to do.
Quit trying to escape the embarrassment, or get the block over with already. You know you want to. No one can dare embarrass. This is the dead name of Keffals. Or they'll throw a tantrum and bother everyone for attention. Crying face. Keffals. Okay, Andrew. Oh no, my nickname, the whore. You're a hypocrite, bro. Die mad. How so? Dox.
She paid for
I have your face and name.
Well, I guess she has that $100,000 now, so you pay for a fucking investigator.
I know what schools you went to.
Yeah.
I know every member of your family.
So is there like a chargeback thing for people when you get the wrong docs? Like is there like I get like if I don't dox the right person, you get a refund from the private investigator? You think that's true? I wonder. I truly do.
Spooky. Is that why you sent some random ass kid? Excited to see how they all react when your information gets sent to them. You're weird as fuck, bro. You're a 30-year-old white guy trying to scare some brown kid. Glad you confirmed your identity. Thank you. Wow, I'm brown. You got me. You're laughing now, just like Josh did. We saw how that went. You're Josh's #1 fan. You have the choice. Your life is now on a diverging path. You can walk away or you can see what comes next. Is that a threat, Ninja? No, it's a promise.
Oh, did they actually say ninja? Okay.
Too deep for me. Didn't you learn your lesson after getting sent to military school? You need to make better choices, kid. Well, yeah, I did. That shit was tough, man. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like you're shitting your life away. You're powerless in the real world, and the only thing that makes you feel like you're in control is a pseudonym you invented to harass people on an internet forum.
Oh, I'm not even. If I didn't know any better, I was listening to Vosh talk to somebody. I'm just saying. But
work on yourself. Become a better person. Yeah, you got me, man. Anything else? I did. It's pretty obvious. Yep,
you know,
sure did.
You know what's interesting about this? I usually skip this and I go right to the porn.
What else you have going for you? Tell me about your life, Andrew.
That was a picture of DSP.
I'm not nearly 30. I haven't burnt every bridge I made. That's what. Limfeo. You lied about OTM Shank being transphobic when he helped you transition. That's sad, bro. Haven't burned every bridge. I make 6 figures a year in a media job. I was reported on media in 15 different countries this month.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Congrats. Not everyone thrives off attention like you. I don't care about Colby. He's a loser who can't hold down a McDonald's job. He wasted his life on internet forums. OTM Shank is another...
I gotta have to get McDonald's for dinner now.
Kiwi farmer, gotcha.
Just kidding. My wife...
I know it's hard to understand. Damn, bro, you're so spiteful and vindictive. Actually really sad to see. Is it sad? What makes you not sad? You live for revenge.
This sucks.
Tell me about you. What in your life makes you not a sad person? I'm not dumb enough to talk about myself, unlike your mods. Do you have a girlfriend? A career? Do you have any way of getting out of the situation you're in? You got Kiwi farms taken down. Take the dick out your mouth, blood. Why'd your family send you to military school, Andrew? I was dealing drugs, bro. It was crazy. Who else are you trying to dox, by the way? They'd be very scared. I'm sure things were bad, but why do you think this path's going to make things better? Did you give up on your future?
It's so weird.
Who else are you trying to dox? Rules for thee, but not for me, am I right? Trust is earned, not given. Keep talking to me. You're not as smart as you think, bro. I ain't telling you anything personal. I know. The private investigator will get me more, though. That's how you spent the grift money? Damn, bro. Wait, did the PI tell you I went to military school? Not really interested in a trash-talking Sanchez. I want to help you.
What does the trash-talking Sanchez mean?
That's kind of racist, bro. You are a spiteful cracker, though, so not surprised.
Wait, what is it? What is a trash-talking Sanchez? Yeah, she's the one who apparently said that. Is it because he's brown, or is that his Andrew Sanchez? Is that what it's supposed to be? What does that mean?
Still talking to family and school officials. I don't have all the information I need yet. That's crazy. I'm shaking. Por favor, gringo. Please no hurt me. Oh. I don't want you to shake. This isn't a threat or anything. You're so smug right now. I'm laughing my ass off. So did Josh.
It's so fucked up because like some actual person got doxxed, so it's horrible. This is fucking ridiculous.
Look what good that did him.
Yeah, I don't know if that was racist or not, but it felt like it might have been actually fucking racist. That's like calling a Hispanic person an Edgar. That's a new thing on TikTok. Hispanic people calling each other Edgars. So fucking dumb. But okay.
How do you take yourself this seriously? Honestly. The downfall of Kiwi Farms was not taking me seriously. I'm not Josh, bro. I don't really care. I know. You still have an out. You have a future. You are young. Are you grooming me? Oh, that's an obvious joke. Don't reply seriously. What's the weather like in Greenfield? Pretty tiny place. That's where my ISP is, pimp. Did your PI find out that? Did your PI find out that I had to repeat 10th grade in military school? No, but that's interesting. It sucked, man. Sorry, you got sucked into that shit. Yeah, and now I've got some pretty fat white guy using a black light to search for my cum stains. It's crazy. Life takes you in strange places. Don't you have a therapist? Why are you talking to me, LeMayo? You're a really interesting person. Really, I'm worried for you in a lot of ways. I think you're trying to get me to threaten you or something. Can't imagine being born in 2003 and growing up in the world like it is today. Things are fucked. It's 4:30 in Belfast, dog. Get some sleep. No wonder you look like shit. You already know I have insomnia. Why is that a surprise? I've been like this since I was a kid. Woe is you. Nah, not really. I don't feel bad for myself. That's a waste of time. Deep as fuck.
So just so you guys know, because it took me a while, when Destiny does the evil voice, that's Keffals. When he does like the cheerful voice, that is the Doxer. Just so you guys know.
Else? You always really seem to want to talk to me. What gives? I'm here. You seem nice enough. I am pretty nice. Thanks. I don't like self-centered pricks who think they're gods. You're high off your own farts. I don't think I'm a god. I'm no better than any other person. In fact, there are a lot of people I look up to, try to learn from. Is this blackmail, by the way? No, just wanted to talk. How's Vanessa, by the way? Is she doing well? What was the message you unsent? Sorry, I can't reply instantly to you. Why did your
Oh, the fake doxer? Whatever.
dad leave your mother?
It's a very weird conversation.
This is sounding like...
Well, it seems like Keffels is trying to get a dunk on him and make this guy feel silly, but he's just trolling the fuck out of her, and she's not understanding how this is like making this person's day even more. This is why you just block them and move on. It's not that big of a deal.
Blackmail? What's the catch? Why'd your dad leave your mother? My parents loved each other very much. They were married for over 30 years before tragedy struck.
Damn.
Your transition was the tragedy. I think...
God, that's horrible. That's not right. That's really fucked up. Holy Jesus, that one threw me off. This is why you guys shouldn't ever do live reactions. That's not... Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. That's so fucked up. I'm sorry. That just shocked me. That's really fucked up. That's not right. It's not right.
My transition is less tragic than coming from a broken home, getting sent to military school for drug dealing, and then becoming a Kiwi Farms user. This sounds classist, but you are entitled to your opinions. I'll never take that away from you. Oh, sounds like you're saying you're better than me because you're white. All brown people have broken homes? What did you mean by this?
Oh my God.
What was your life like at home? When did Vic leave Vanessa? I know you went with your mom. You seem really close to her. Yeah, I love my mama. How much did you pay for this info, by the way? Did it come out of your GoFundMe money?
Oh my God.
Winter, I don't know how much money you think I make, but I was going to make 6 figures this year before the GoFundMe happened.
Oh.
That wasn't the question. Quit flexing on minorities, Whitey. I don't mean to. I'm sorry. You brought up money for some reason. Did you pay the PI out of the GoFundMe money? No, the GoFundMe money is currently in savings until I need to use it. Do you still see your family often? How's Matthias? Excuse me, but Vic is Victoria.
What a fucking name.
You know. He/she left me for the influencer life in Texas. Don't be bigoted. That's not Vic. It's Victoria. This is Vic. Oh my God. Hi, Dad. What's the problem? I'm saying hi to my dad. I haven't seen him in forever, bro. Rude.
He didn't say dad.
I don't understand why.
Dad. He misspelled dad and say did, and then corrected himself. And Destiny read it for some reason.
You react the way you do to things. This 10 layers of irony thing is weird. Just as a reminder, the reason why this winter person is saying bro and he and Lucas is so much because this guy is transphobic as fuck towards Keffels.
Yeah.
I don't support or approve of that. Just reading the logs as is. I know that there's still going to be morons that quote me out of this saying that I'm being transphobic or I'm dead naming blah, blah, blah.
Well, Destiny, you are giving Keffels the scary, spooky voice, okay? When my mom used to read me Elmo in Grouchland, I don't even, that's not a book, I was a movie. But my point is that you're reading her with the scary, spooky voice, okay? That's the thing. All right?
Blah, blah, blah. Just reading this as they're presented. I don't support transphobia even.
But like, I don't think it's to make her seem worse. It's maybe, I don't know. It's funny. But it's like your fucking mom reading you a bedtime story.
I think it's fucking losers like Keffels. Who the fuck even is Winter? Some random Kiwi farmer that Keffels thinks she doxed, but she got the wrong dox, and she's trying to threaten him. And then she thinks that he's the one that doxed her parents, but he joined that. He read apparently 50 pages into it, so. But I don't understand why you react the way you do to things. This 10 layers of irony thing is weird. You're on the internet too much. I'm just saying hi to my dad. There is no irony, predator.
Oh my God.
What do you do when you are on the internet? I climb mountains, like in Rocky 4. Still work at the skateboard shop? Fuck, how did you know? Oh my God. No, I'm asking. Can you name the shop? I doubt there's more than one in Greenfield. Then name it. Damn, you have a half brother too? Can you name the shop?
This is fucked up.
Picture. Oh my God. Okay, so anyways, what's the name of the shop I work at? Why are you so eager to know? Can't you just tell me? Why can't you name it? You were so sure about it. Yeah, let me go ahead and dox myself to you real quick. You're really not too bright. I don't really think either of us are, but that's neither here nor there. Speak for yourself. So, the name? Why do you want to know? Why can't you name it? I'm just asking a question. I am too. You want to go ahead and say you can't name it? You're right. I probably can't name it. You probably can't? Nah, say you can't. I'm dominating you now. I don't know if that's a racial slur or not, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Fake farts, have you been drinking?
I'm not even going to read
Nah, I don't drink. Stop the cap! So you're smoking then? Okay. I'd be surprised given your history if you are sober, though. Please try to take care of yourself. Look at yourself, bro. You look like a sack of potatoes. Go refill the Addy. You aren't exactly a looker yourself, but you know, it's totally cool to make fun of my appearance if you want. Try to bully me all you want. My dick will stay attached. Chomo is, I don't know if that's a transphobic insult or not.
It's, Chomo means pedophile. So, you know.
Send pics of me, harmless motherfucker. I'm not bullying you. I'm above that as a person. Why do you want me to send pics of you? Just like you're above embezzling.
How do you not know that, Destiny? I thought you were fucking Hispanic. Half Cuban? Colombian? Half Sanchez? Sorry. Just sorry, Kevils is my. I really look up to her, so I'm just trying to be like her. Yeah, that's pedophile. He's Cuban.
Money from the Communist Party? Send him. Do it. No balls, literally. Why? Oh, Chomo is child molester. It's kind of transphobic because I always assume that all trans people are child molesters, so I guess it kind of goes along with it. But
they do.
Do it, pussy. Do it if you want, I guess. Go for it. Why, though, LeMayo? Based on that one pic with a Snapchat filter on it, all you do is filter your webcam, 62 IQ ass ninja. I neither use filters nor webcam. Anyways, you're going to send those pics of me? Once you explain why you're so eager. Or are you saving them to touch yourself with? Andrew, I don't get the point of any of this. Why are you acting like a retard?
Oh my
Sounds
God.
ableist. It is. I'm being ableist against you. You're the one who messaged me first to try to threaten me, dumbass.
Hey, you shouldn't say that word, all right? Don't say that word. All right.
I didn't threaten you. You've wanted to talk for a while. Play coy, but you know what you're doing. Don't you realize your community will eat you alive for your microaggressions, bro? Kinda cringe.
True.
What the fuck is a microaggression? I don't know what kind of SJW bullshit you're on about.
What?
What's transphobic? I don't know what kind of SJW bullshit you're on about. I don't know. What is transphobic?
You son of a
Don't
bitch.
you realize your community will eat you alive for your bigotry, bro? Never seemed to happen. My community loves me. Why is that? You know, a lot of them are disabled.
I mean, that's just weird. I mean, like, yeah, of course a lot of them are disabled. A lot of them are trans. Just kidding. Stop. Anyway, well, why is, like, that's, like, weird to me. It's like, okay, so if you have a community and you, like, hold them to like, yourself to a particular standard, wouldn't you, like, it's one thing to, like, okay, sometimes in the heat of the moment you lose yourself. I get that. But to be like, my community loves me, like, it doesn't really matter what I do, which is how that read to me, that seems really dishonest. Right? Just saying, bro.
Right? There are some retards out there who shriek and moan about me, but they're irrelevant.
Jesus.
Aren't you disabled too? Others got dropped by 3 different companies in a week. Limfeo, this ego, insane. I stated facts. Ego.
So wait, hold on. We want to maintain that Destiny had said that this might not be real, right? He said that this might be fabricated. So there's a possibility of that. It's just something to bring up again, even though he brought it up, just in case. Just as possible. Okay?
Where's the ego in that? You have a smug AGP smirk on your face, 100%. It's another transphobic insult. What is egotistical about the fact that Joshua Moon got dropped by 3 different companies in 1 week? That's something that is true. Yeah. Anyways, got any more docs info on me? I am HSTS, not AGP. Get it right.
Well, I think the thing is... What the fuck was... Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. The egotistical part in that would be bragging about it in a way that's like supposed to be threatening. So like that's what it is. Like, oh, I got Kiwi Farms taken down. Okay, like I can understand why people will be like, yeah, I'm proud of that. But when you say that in like a threatening tone, it's like, oh, I got Kiwi's Farms taken down. Okay, like, and the implication is like maybe you're next. That's when it gets like into a weirder spot, you know, or into an area where it becomes like a potential like a kind of like a threat, you know, like a veiled threat. That's what it is. Like veal cutlets, Parmesan. Hold the veal, you know what I'm saying? Just give me the Parmesan. Hold the sauce too. Just give me a bunch of semi-melted mozzarella cheese. Al dente.
Pig moment. Man, your brain is so broken by this shit. Do you even know how to talk to women?
That's a good question, actually. Did she dox him publicly or just in the DMs? Good question. I think that she put a post up. Hopefully they show it again. I think she put a post up saying that she doxed them. I don't know if she put a bunch of information about the dox. I would assume yes, probably, but it's possible that it's a no, and I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out after we fuck this kid's right in his booty hole. Oh, well, no, he's gonna fuck my booty hole. Oh wow, my booty hole is completely raw. Okay.
In real life? Do you? Yes, I've had many girlfriends, both cis and trans.
Nice.
No sex to doubt. Your deflection is pretty obvious, though. You can't answer because you know the answer. You DM'd me to get info out of me, and now I'm getting info out of you. Lots of laughers. Info about things I'm open about publicly? I don't hide like you do, because I have integrity and character. Oh, so they're public? So why do you cry when we post shit on Kiwi Farms? You post stuff on Kiwi Farms? I can't see Kiwi Farms on Google when I look it up. Nice job calling me a revenge pornographer, by the way. Your clean Clara vids were on your public ManyVids account. Big brain. Okay, Andrew. Okay, Sky. Okay, Shiloh. Okay, Kaylee. LeMayo, you're so mad. Totally. LeMayo. Can you act like an adult, please, for once in your life? Can you? You're 30. Yes, I do every day.
Wait, Keffels is 30? Oof-ah. That's a little... I wouldn't admit that. God damn. Seen a lot of older individuals that don't seem to act their age on the internet a little bit. I assume Keffels is like 22, so did not know that they were fucking 30. But okay.
You were 30, my ninja. Then why are you still playing make-believe? I'm sorry your parents don't love each other. Please don't take this out on me. I'm sorry your parents can't love each other. Well, they did and didn't send me to military school. That ninja, Kangsley, spinning like a 7-Eleven hot dog in his grave.
Should I put?
This is a link to Onion Farms. I don't know what the fuck this website is. Phobia even against fucking losers like Keffels. Who the My parents loved each other very much. They were married for over 30 years before tragedy struck.
I was saying my parents didn't love each other.
Your transition was the tragedy.
Oh, sorry, that was.
You're right.
We weren't there as well.
I probably can't name it. You probably can't? Nah, transphobic. Don't you realize your community will eat you alive for your bigotry, bro? Did and didn't send me to military school.
Ah, there we go.
That ninja, Kangsley, spinning like a 7-Eleven hot dog in his grave right now. You didn't even graduate, LeMayo. You got me. Any more info you know about me? Send receipts, ninja. No, thank you. I appreciate it, though. But I'm not a farmer. I want to keep my receipts to myself. Receipts? So you have nothing, then? Sure.
The only thing I would have really liked to... Oh, I guess Destiny addressed it already. He addressed the hormone thing. Because I thought people were saying, like, she explicitly said it was for this, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like people were exaggerating the hormone argument a little bit. That's, at least from what Destiny... It seems so, because people were like, Papa, she was trying to do blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, maybe there's more information on that, and Destiny's just not giving it. I don't really know, but, you know, okay.
Is this like a sexual thing for you? Are you edging me? Honestly, I think I'm done until you want to act a bit more mature. My reaction to that, Keffel's face. You need to learn some strength of character, Andrew. You DM'd me, never forget. Never forget what?
Really the rest
that you
of the
live
video.
with your mom in King City? You play Kirby and Animal Crossing. Grow up, LeMayo. This cracker.
Stop.
You should get a job and a girlfriend. Move out. Start a life. Instead of playing weird internet.
I didn't know the person's not gay, dude.
Lord make-believe. Receipts. You weren't nice enough. You didn't earn my trust. I told you this from the beginning. Keep in mind that Keffels is like fucking, what, like 30 years old?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's
Jesus.
crazy.
You have no receipts and no balls. I have more balls than every single user on Kiwi Farms combined.
Sorry, like the no balls, like, you know, they're obviously being transphobic, saying that you got your balls cut off. But like, you know, when you say no balls to somebody, you're saying that like, oh, you know, you won't do it. And so it's like a double meaning there. So, wow.
And chop mine off. People tried to take down that site for 10 years. I did it in a week. Is that why you cry publicly on stream? Yes, because crying publicly on stream means that I'm a strong person who's not afraid to show emotion.
Okay, is this actually real? Is this? There's no way Keffels would say that. There's no fucking way anybody would ever say that. Come on, really? That's fucking embarrassing, dude. What are you talking about? That's fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. Is it really Keffels though? Or is this just somebody fucking trolling? Why would you fucking say that?
LeMayo, cope, copium, receipts, cracker. You know the answer to that. I'll talk to you later when I hear back from the PI. Limafeo, pussy ass ninja, no receipts. Sure thing, Andrew Joseph Sanchez. Okay.
Ah, their last name was supposed to be Sanchez, so that's why. But it still felt a little racist. I'm just gonna say, but yeah, that's what I assumed was it. But yeah.
Lucas John Roberts. Anyway.
Papa Gut. So I'm telling you it was with a grain of salt. But somebody said she posted a snippet of this conversation on Twitter before she took it down after realizing it was a false dox. Okay. Hopefully Destiny shows that, then we can know if it's real or not. Okay.
Receipts though? Good night. Ugly ass, transphobic remark. You'll be up tweeting anyways. Yes, and you'll be obsessing, monitoring my Twitter, which is objectively more sad. I'm going to go to sleep now. We can talk later, okay? I'm glad we were able to break the ice.
Why?
You can assume that, but I know what
you think that, like, if this really is Keffels, you think that this, like, is a sad reality that, like, maybe this is I stunned this guy. He moved like 10 feet. Maybe, like, this is the most, like, genuine human interaction she ever gets, and, like, she feeds on it? Because, like, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but, like, do you think that she struggles to maintain, like, personal, you know, relationships? And, like, this person's actually satisfying, like, a level of a personal relationship, even if it's hatred? You know? I couldn't imagine being this obsessed with... Like, I understand that this troll is obsessed, but, like, as a content creator, like, spending so much time arguing with a person, a random person, you know?
you do with your time you don't know about me. I doubt there's much to know, and every detail I learn will just be more sad. Not like you're going to college or have any future to speak of right now. Racism? Ayo. Stuck in small-ass town with no options. Receipts? Doubt you have a girlfriend. I doubt Alex McIntosh, which I think is Keffel's fiance, has one too. He's stuck with you, not a girlfriend. Oh no, sick own. I'm going to marry a PhD candidate. How could my life get worse? Everything is about money to you. Sad as fuck. I guess that's how you are when you're privileged. Only sad because your mom probably takes care of you. You don't know the value of $1. This is coming from the guy who sits on the internet and cries for money, or plays games, or reads other people's articles. And making well above the average income of the average American is sad when you mooch off your family? LOL, come on.
LOL,
come. Canadian money is worth less, copium. Your parents were well off, bro. You can't talk about not knowing the value of $1. 6 figures in Canada is still above the average American income when converted. Is money your only go-to? You're very hollow. I know you didn't go to college, but this should be simple. You're a shell. Pathetic. Am I? From my viewpoint, your life is significant.
I prefer BP to Shell. Any of my Americans will get a gas joke. BP did have the whole oil spill thing, but that's well before your time, so I don't have to justify that. But because they destroyed the environment, they gave like some really good deals, and they've been really on par with their customer service. So it just goes to show you, if a company ever fucks up, that it's almost a good thing if the company destroys part of the planet, because they'll really try to make up for it for the next 10, 15 years.
Significantly more pathetic right now. You have nothing to your name that is worth having pride in. Didn't your dad not graduate high school until his 30s? How are you going to tell me about not graduating, Limfeo? Which is why he emphasized to his kids that we need to go to school. He was a great man. Aren't you another man's kid too? I think I saw that on Kathy's Facebook. Good job making your mom get rid of all of her memories on Facebook, LeMayo. It's not my fault a stalker forum decided to harass my family. It is Josh's fault that I ruined his life, though. He deserved it.
I will say, if she's constantly getting harassed with people saying that like her dead father is a terrible person, I could see why she might be angry. I mean, even if I don't agree with her, you know, after this, she seems to have some very suspicious feelings, you know. But I could see why she gets so irritated. It seems like a drunk on power type scenario, where it's like they never get checked for doing bad things, and they keep winning when they shouldn't, and so like they've gotten too full of themselves.
Life was shit before you came along. Null derangement syndrome. Yeah, and now it's barely worth living. He, like you, has.
Wait, you're asking me how? No, BP oil like spilled a ton of oil in like the fucking ocean. It was like horrible. It was a whole. It was a nightmare.
Nothing. Yeah, he should only live if he makes 6 figures, huh? But you have an out and he doesn't. Greedy fuck. Yet you decide to keep fucking up your life and bringing shame to your entire family. Have an out to what? Laughing at 30-year-olds who take themselves too seriously and want people to worship them? How are you even in a position to laugh at me when your life is so messed up? Tell me, what's something in your life that you're proud of, legitimately?
Porn.
Oh, the queen is officially dead. Ripperino.
Okay, thanks.
Oh my goodness, 96 years old.
Wow.
I think there was a big tell this morning when they were saying that, like, she wasn't at the hospital or anything, so.
Wow.
Absent chat for the queen, guys. These logs were so fucking cringe. She was tuned into my stream, and she'd rather die than get to the end of this 2.5 minute video. I'm so sorry, bongers. My bad. Tell me, what is something in your life that you're proud of, legitimately? Receipts? I can tell you're fishing for info. 62 IQ, head ass. Nothing. Got it. I figured as much. Receipts? Nothing. Got it. Oh, receipts. Are you going to talk about this in therapy? My 6 figures. Okay, anyway. I needed to go to bed, but you have a really fragile ego. I decided you needed to keep this going. You DM'd me first. Trying to mock me for having a successful life and career is so fucking funny. Your only accomplishment is making money. Oh no, I'm getting mocked by retards on a hate forum that just got deplatformed.
Stop saying that!
Whatever shall I do?
Please!
Do you hate brown people? Is this what this is? No, I just think your haircut is goofy as fuck. Pick?
See, that's calling him an Edgar. Edgar is making fun of Hispanic haircuts. A little racist.
Your accomplishment, exactly. This isn't my only accomplishment, but still, what exactly do you have going for you? How can you even begin to bust me down when you have nothing to show for being better than me?
Bust it down, Fatiana.
You live with your mom in a little shitty town. You didn't go to college. Damn. Dropped out of military school. You got sent to for dealing drugs. Asked, oh, no girlfriend, no job, no future? Like what? For future. Okay, keep spurging out. You sound like a KF user. True fan behavior. Your friend Tony Reed has a felony drug conviction. Who the fuck is that? And Hunter Lyon has an arson conviction, and your ex had a rape conviction. What was that ninja's name? Kristen or something? And I have what conviction? And you sold drugs and got sent to military school. Do you believe everything everyone tells you on the internet? Only to go back to your broken home. Only broken because I'm brown and poor, huh? Crazy. Sounds like a stereotype. Deleted, LeMayo. Scared as fuck. Not really. What else can KF users really do? I faced you all down and won, and all you can do is say weird things to me. Apparently make you message them and vent in their DMs. Anyway, good night, Andrew. You need help, but I'm not going to give up on you. Eventually, you'll figure this out on your own. But you're a stupid kid still. You'll either grow out of this or end up like Josh. We both know you don't.
How old? But wait, really quick. How old does she think this kid is? Like, was that picture supposed to be like how old he actually was? Like, okay, so they showed a picture at the beginning. I assumed it was an old picture, but like, does she think that this is like a 14-year-old boy? That's just like being stupid as fuck. Because that would be a little suspicious. It's like if you like at that point you should definitely be like, fuck this guy. I'm not going to interact with some 14-year-old fucking dude. Maybe 18 or 19. I guess I get it more then, but
I want that.
Oh wait, they went to military school. Okay, I guess they'd be older. You
know. Do you know this person? Good night, Andrew. Did you write an article about them trying to run too fast? Blah, blah, blah. And then I think for the rest of this, they right-click the name, and then now you could theoretically build this all out in a web app and fake it, or theoretically the messages above could have been altered a lot. If they, like, it's not impossible that this was faked, but pretty improbable, assuming that this is connected to all of Kethel's socials and everything. Kethel's tweeted out that these logs were fake. Why would you believe things from a Kiwi Farms user? I don't know who Twinkbright is. They have me blocked. I'm assuming it's probably just a Kiwi Farms op. So her accusation is that they're all fake. However, the problem is that... Oh, fuck, I'm not going to find any of this. The problem is that Kethel's actually tweeted out a bit, and then she deleted the tweets about having doxed somebody from Kiwi Farms and found out all their info. But once she realized that she had a failed dox, meaning her dox was incorrect, that guy that she was talking to, she had the wrong dox. So she deleted all of the... She deleted everything.
Yeah. Okay, so you were right. That's what... So yeah, I guess it's still possible they could build like a whole bullshit conversation around that. Or like fake parts of it, I suppose. But wow. Okay. Well, that's you know, I mean, there would have to be a lot going on there for it to be fake. She would have to come forward and show us, which should be pretty easy to do, right? Like, be like, okay, I'm just gonna show you that it's fake. You know, that's how you would respond to that. But okay. All right. So how much did she put in the thread, though? Did she put like the guy's name and everything and where they lived, or did she just say like, "Oh, I doxed this person"? You know, it's still bad in both situations, but I'm just wondering.
And yeah, those are probably real. Rip. The real question is, why go through the effort to fake all of it if she could disprove it with the real logs, since she's not providing receipts to say some of the leaks are real? Yeah. Well, so the more interesting thing is, what lies has she told about you except for the rape shit? She fabricated my relationship with Kiwi Farms. She continually misrepresents my community and Kiwi Farms being together. She continuously says that I sent people to Kiwi Farms to hate writers. She makes all sorts of false claims about me all the time. Oh yeah, this is what she tweeted earlier. There were 2 tweets, but this is one of them. I found out who the Kiwi Farms user was who doxed my mother and sent him a photo of him with his mother and addressed him by his name, and he deleted his account. But he didn't delete his account, he just blocked her on Discord. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if she didn't send anything else in there, like, it's still really shitty. Well, first of all, okay, so it seems like she didn't actually like publicize the docs. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. It seems like she didn't publicize the docs. It's still wrong, but it's like it's not as bad as if she had publicized the docs, obviously. What's weird though, and I know this is gonna be bizarre, is that like it's weird to not publicize the docs. I know that sounds weird, but like the reason I think it's weird, I keep saying weird. The reason I think it's bizarre that she same thing. That she didn't publicize it is it made it really personal. So you doxed somebody, you spent however much money to dox somebody just so that you could tell them that like that just seems like really kind of unhinged to me. You know, sussy. Yeah, nice. Seems a little sussy. It's good that they seemingly didn't announce it, but still.
Annoying because I'm pretty sure she knows these things are false. I don't actually think she's stupid. I think she's pretty sophisticated or pretty savvy when it comes to this.
Savvy.
I'm sorry.
So every time that Destiny says that she's good with technology, that's being transphobic because men are good with technology, women aren't. So he's trying to make like this transphobic hit that's like, oh, well, you're really still a man because you're good with technology and the internet. All right, you got to be careful with these fucking transphobes like Destiny because they're smart. They know how to be transphobic without you realizing it. You guys got to be careful. Okay. Remember, this guy got doxxed or taken down, excuse me, because he's such a transphobic Twitch. You know, so you have to be careful with people like this.
Stalker website you have a verified account on and love to frequent is dying. Like she tries so hard to link me to this site. She said something else before where I have he calls himself a Kiwi Farmers in the bio. He talked about how much he loves the site on stream. I've never talked about how much I love Kiwi Farms. Every single content creator hates Kiwi Farms. All of them, me included, because that site is horrible if you're a content creator. I never said I love Kiwi Farms. Also, when I called her out for saying that, she backtracked immediately and changed it to a different claim. But Oh yeah, and she said this too. My tinfoil hat moment is that I believe that he had an agreement with Joshua Moon where he found new victims for the site in exchange for them not doxing and harassing his family. The funny thing is that even if this were true, this would mean that I was the victim being blackmailed. Even if this was true, which it's not.
Tinfoil hat moment was that I believe he had an agreement with Joshua Moon where he found new victims for the site in exchange for them not doxing. Okay. So yeah, that would make him the victim. But what's interesting about that is it kind of just basically admits well, I guess it doesn't admit anything, but it's like, what a fucking stretch. I mean, I guess she knows it's a fucking conspiracy, but having that conspiracy with seemingly unfounded, based on everything that we're seeing here, it does obviously show like an incredible bias against Destiny. Not that they don't have biases against each other, but, you know.
Not. Were you planning on going over this stuff too?
Did I see the tweet that claimed Destiny was being transphobic towards Keffals for saying L3, L3? No, good, you said that to me, and tell me where you said that. That's very funny. It's funny because L3 is like a big it's like a big thing in like the like Sneeko says it and shit like that. It's funny. It's silly, but it's funny. Okay.
I'm pretty sure she could prove the DMs were fake by opening stream.
What is the L supposed to mean to them? Or are they just trying to say that like, oh, because they didn't like H3, that must just be because she's trans?
Her message. Oh yeah, but she's not going to. The messages are real, 100%. I need to make hashtag drop KiwiFarms movement aware of something, as I think there's possibly a danger to the reputations of good people who have opposed far-right websites personas for years. Keffals is engaging in tactics much like those of Kiwi farmers. She is optics poison. Keffals DM'd this person and said, I know you weren't involved when 8chan was dropped, but us talking to each other is optics poison. I want to work with you. I want the site done by any means necessary. That said, the ace up my sleeve is my press connections, and I cannot afford a blunder of this magnitude. The above is a message from her to me, but that's not why I'm posting this. She got into a slap fight with a Kiwi Farms user and called him a racial slur, Sanchez. She did that multiple times. An ableist slur,
I think that was supposed to be.
She bragged to Burn8 about telling somebody to kill themselves.
Well, I will say that, like, in her defense, a little bit is that like that was apparently the last name of the person. So, it's still, to me, I think you have a good argument for, like, it does kind of sound like a racial slur, because nobody will say that to somebody about their last name unless he was really trying to brag about it. It's like, I got your docs. So it's still a little sussy. But I guess maybe that's like almost like a really good analogy for potentially how Keffals is. And I'm saying potentially because I'm not fully sold, but I have to sit on this information obviously for a little bit. I have to, but is that she will say something that is somewhat ambiguous or can be interpreted in multiple different ways, and then people are like, depending on their level of charitability, will interpret it the way that they want.
There's a meme going around that Flamenco tried to cozy up and reach out and got told to fuck off, and everyone's laughing at Flamenco. I've seen it pop up in 2 places outside the Kiwi Farms, also of True Based. Yeah, I told him to kill himself, laughing. You absolute legend. Oh, by the way, there's also that tweet that was floating out there that she deleted where she said that she hoped somebody else got swatted too. I don't know if anybody has a link to that, but that tweet is out there as well. Just saying. She's unpredictable and far too much desires to control the narrative, because she is unironically fighting back by punching way below the belt. True. Fight the far right, don't become them. She and I are done. She was unbelievably rude to me, yes. But now I see it's not just me, but also Naya and a ton of others. The person she is messaging is an asshole, yes, and still going mask off ableist races is unwarranted. Thank you for what you've done for the movement, Keffals, but clearly you can't hold it in your spaghetti, and it keeps getting spread all over my suggested box /timeline.
Let's see what we got here. Somebody said, in Destiny's review of Keffals chat with H3, Destiny referred to Keffals as L3, Y and L. Her streamer name starts with a K, and her real name starts with a C. Oh, that's right. The name starts with an L. Wait, is that real? They actually think that? Wow. What a fucking idiot. He's just a big L. That's the whole argument. What a fucking moron. I love it, though. I gotta love it. What is this? Why is there so much of this?
And so I think you ought to let Naya go as a woo and Liz the Grey take over, actual operators who are more than capable. I don't think Keffals would ever do that, obviously. Keffals is basically like Trump, right? Like, she's 100% in this for the ego. But yeah, interesting.
Destiny, why are you pronouncing the L in Keffals' name so hard, huh? Is it because their dead name starts with an L? Transphobe.
Oh, this was Keffals', yeah. Keffals tried to say in relation to this was in 2021. She was trying to say that she hoped that somebody else gets swatted, and then people found it, and I think she deleted the tweet.
Wow.
But her excuse afterwards was, what did she say in response to that? She's like, oh, I thought getting swatted just meant that you call the cops to alert that somebody's up to no good. Like,
well, that's still not good, yeah? I guess that is kind of what swatting is, but either way, it's still not like a good thing. Why would that? What a fucking piss poor bullshit defense. Wow, incredible.
Like, come on, dude. What's the best way to counter people like Keffel? She ironically holds so much power in cycles like her, keep gaining social support and power to harass and bully everyone. It's insane. I've thought about like, I don't want to be the person at the head of this. As stupid as my fucking dumb fuck community is that thinks that I'm like going really hard on this, blah, blah. I'm not going hard at all. If I really wanted to organize something on this is what I would suggest somebody doing if you want, is put together like, you need like 2 lists, okay? You need or 2 documents. You need one document that has like a fully fleshed out thing of like, this is every fucking stupid, obvious, dumb fucking lie that Keffels has told. That's number 1. Number 2 is you need like a very short, very quick to read, like, oh, here's a lie, here's a lie, here's a lie, here's a lie. That can be like fired out to people that is like quickly accessible. These are 2 things. One is more comprehensive, the other is like easily digestible, okay? That's step 1, is compiling the information. Step 2 would be reaching out to all of the kind of like alternative journalists that would be interested in covering this. So it could be quasi-mainstream people like Jesse Signal or other people that have written articles on CNN or other places that are a little bit critical of the hardcore trans narrative. The second group of journalists would be people like Tim Pool or Sargon of Akkad or whatever, these types of people, the alternative media guys.
Yeah, these associations are going to get like him some backfire from people. I think that's what makes it so easy to like dismiss Destiny. Because after this, like I'm more sold, obviously. I think there's obviously like a bias from Destiny to her, but it seems like it was developed from her lying about him. I'm assuming her bias comes from like the trans women in sports thing, but I could be wrong about that. Now he's basically calling for somebody to make a thing, which I think would be great. Yeah, make something like really let's get our comprehensive fucking thing for Keffels and actually like get us, you know what I mean? I'm totally down for that. But now it's just be like, see, he's calling for people to like fucking misinterpret this, that, and the other thing, and then calling for Tim Pool and blah blah blah, and like Sargon of Akkad and other people who are seen as like really bad people, especially in the more progressive communities, which is just going to allow to give them ammunition to just be like, see, you should. This is why this person is bad, you know. And is this why Destiny's bad? Because of these people associating with them in some capacity, or even referencing them in the first place. So, yeah, okay.
That would be really thirsty for a story like this, especially if you had all the precompiled information. That would be step 2. Step 3 would be, with the short doc, would be blasting on Twitter the journalists and the editors and the...
That's a good point. Q Farms a shit, but Keffel's taking them down to show us her history. It's interesting. Well, for one, it seems like they're incredibly transphobic, so their history is going to be through like a really shitty lens. But then, like, yeah, I guess that's if you wanted to go really big tinfoil hat mode, she only wanted to do it to get rid of like the online history of things that criticized her. I don't know if that's true. I think that would be like, you'd have to like really think Keffels is a real piece of shit, which some people probably do. I don't know if I would. I don't think I'm on that narrative, but you know, I think it's more likely that she just like hates them because they've done bad things to her. But yeah, I guess you could argue that.
And the publications that are the people that are pushing these stories a lot, because there's only a couple journalists that have like super ridden Keffels that are pushing it really hard. And then step 4 would be to take the short doc and the long doc and to email that to like the editors in charge of some of the publications where these stories are getting published, especially if other people's names are being included. So like me sending an email saying, hey, I'm including this article, this is blah, blah, blah. That would be like, this would be like the comprehensive plan if you wanted to like launch a thing and go hard. I'm not doing all that shit because I don't want to get that far. I don't want to be the fucking face of like the anti-trans fucking movement or some shit, because I know that's what happened. But if you wanted to, to go hard, that would be like roughly like the 4 steps you'd probably go through to like try to actually lean into this and get some type of public pressure against her. But yeah.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Anyone else think the MCU got really fucking horrible after Endgame? Anybody else?
Okay. Anyway, interesting. Okay, definitely a lot more context now. I'm not going to say I'm fully sold on Keffels being a horrible person, though that definitely does not help her case. I feel like this is a huge rabbit hole. Again, there's not a whole lot of comprehensive shit done on her. Somebody does make it, and they show it. I'm more than willing to look at it. But that was something, man. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.